Are we done?
It's Friday night in Cookeville and ready for the 5A state championship game. Two teams in it for the first time as Beech takes on Columbia Central in the Blue Cross Bowl. Coming up next. And welcome to Tennessee Tech University, Tucker Stadium on campus. The Blue Cross Bowl, the 5A state championship game. Kevin Ingram, Kelly Holcomb ready to bring you all the action as Beech takes on Columbia Central. Both teams in it for the first time, both mid-state schools, and a lot of fans making their way over for tonight's game in Cookeville. How did they get here, you ask? Well, we'll begin with the Buccaneers of Beech, down from Sumner County, and a 6-game winning streak overall, including a thrilling victory in the semifinals last week against Mitchell. 50-42 was the final in that one. For Columbia Central, also a 6-game win streak. The Lions a shutout victory last week in the state semifinals as they got here with a win over Sullivan South. There you see it, 24-0, part of that winning streak that has them in the championship game for the first time. Kevin Ingram, Kelly Holcomb, as I mentioned, glad to have you with us for tonight's state championship game. And as we mentioned, both these teams playing in this one for the first time. And that means nerves on both sides. You've been in this position before, and you know what it's all about.
Yeah, it's a fun night, though. It's everything culminates into this one football game. It's not like baseball and it's not like basketball where you have series. It's just one football game. And those guys have been practicing for this the whole year, been training. They're ready for tonight. It's something to remember.
It will indeed be that. And players to watch for tonight's game, Travis Haymer, as we begin with Beech High School, the man to try to stop out of that backfield as they run the wing tee.
They run the wing tee, like you said. He's got 1,603 yards on 250 carries this year, got 20 TDs. Good football player. He's kind of like catalyst for this offense.
Number 24, Jonathan Seitz on defense, and he is a load. There you see it, 120 tackles and 8 sacks for the Bucs.
Good football player, not only on defense but on offense. But as you see, he's got 120 tackles with 8 sacks. He's going to have to be big, as is the Beech Buccaneer defense tonight.
Columbia Central features the coach's son, as you see the big paw print revealing Bryant Ballou, an outstanding wideout.
Got over 1,000 yards receiving with 6 touchdowns, 6'4", 205. He's going to have a huge advantage over the DBs for Beech.
On both sides of the football, that man Tredarius Goff gets it done.
He really does, and as you see, he's got 100 tackles with 2 interceptions, but he's also got 24 touchdowns on the offensive side, so he's a dual threat.
How do they win tonight's state championship game as Beech and Columbia match up? Handling the pressure for both teams will be a key, though, this evening.
It's going to be huge because, like you said, it's the first time that they've been here. They're going to have some nerves. It's whoever handles those nerves in the first of the game and gets off to a good start.
Beech has to keep its sights on the quarterback, Zach Tate of Columbia Central, with a balanced attack.
Yeah, they do have a balanced attack. They like to throw the ball. They like to run the ball, but Jonathan Seitz and company has got to get some pressure on him because if he gets time, he's going to hit his man, Bryant Ballou.
For Columbia, handling the nerves and also stopping the aforementioned Travis Haymer.
Yeah, he's a good football player. Like I said, he's a catalyst for this football team. They've got to stop him, but there's some other guys they have to stop. Beech offense, they do a lot of stuff with the wing tee.
Exciting stuff. The state championship, Class 5A, Beech and Columbia Central coming up next from Cookeville. Stay with us.
We invite you to join the movement. A rebellion against all things motionless, where health has a direction and wellness a destination. Proof that a single action can cause a powerful reaction and keep Tennessee moving together toward a healthy future. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee. Get into the movement at mvmtforlife.com.
We'll be in Nashville, Sevierville, Knoxville, Decaturville, Whiteville, Shelbyville, Graysville, Brownsville, Memphis, Chattanooga, Brentwood, Bell Buckle, Ducktown, Jamestown, Tri-Cities, Mountain City, Lynchburg, Gatlinburg, Copper Hill, Berry Hill, Bulls Gap, Bellmead. We're gonna get you, don't you see? We'll be everywhere, man. Lawbreakers should beware, man. Y'all won't have a prayer, man. If you're traveling, we'll be there, man. We'll be everywhere.
Law enforcement is on the lookout for impaired drivers. Booze it and lose it. Tennessee Tech University has more than 40 majors plus 23 graduate and doctoral programs, diverse undergraduate research opportunities, co-ops, and internships. Find out more. Visit tntech.edu/start here.
My name is Jerry Leisky. I'm in the music business, and I have cancer. And I'm going to beat it. I have a nephew who is an oncologist. He suggested a tomo machine. Tomotherapy is brand new, incredibly precise. The therapy only takes 5 minutes. There were 2 in Tennessee, Knoxville and Cookeville Regional Medical Center. I have not missed a day of work, Cookeville Regional Medical Center, and their new tomo machine. This is a godsend.
Nashville Sporting Goods supports athletics. We've been there to meet the athletic needs of all ages for over 65 years. We're there when the football team takes the field. We're there for the tip-off at the basketball game. We're there for the opening pitch of the softball game. Nashville Sporting Goods knows the importance of sports in the development of our youth. Having the proper equipment to fully enjoy sports activities is essential. That's why Nashville Sporting Goods is there. We're proud to be supporting athletics.
Community First Bank and Trust congratulates Columbia Central High School for competing for the state title. Community First Bank and Trust is Columbia's hometown bank and has been serving Columbia and Murray County for over 10 years. Go Lions!
Welcome back. Ready for the 5A state championship here in Cookeville. And before we begin, as the players are ready for the kickoff, let's send it down to the field. The third member of our crew, the Guru, Murphy Fair. Well, we'll check back in with Murphy in just a moment. Very well dressed for tonight's game. His clothing allowance must be a little more than ours is. Ready for the kickoff. It will be Beech kicking off to Columbia, and away we go with the state championship game. Back deep it is Ballou and Hall. And a pretty nice return out past the 40-yard line, as bringing the ball out of there was number 2, a return of 20. It was one of the up men, number 2, Chris Landwehr, for Columbia Central. They're going to have pretty good field position to get this thing started as it's out to the 43-yard line.
Yeah, I thought he was going to hit one there. He got a hole right up the middle there, Kevin. It looked like he might take it to the house.
So Columbia will bring its offense onto the field, led by the quarterback, Zach Tate. We'll give you the starting lineups in just a moment. Zach has had an outstanding year, 1,900 yards passing and 11 passes for touchdowns, 6 rushing TDs as well. First play from scrimmage is a run. Great defense by Beech as the carry went to Moore. Loss of a couple on the play. There's a starting lineup, the offensive line for Columbia. 3 seniors and 2 juniors with an average of 264 pounds across that front line. The skill position folks, led by Jarod Neal, 7 touchdowns on the ground, and Tredarius Goff, 24 TDs. Each of them has rushed for over 1,000 yards this season.
And that's not what Coach Ballou wants. He had guys in the backfield right off the bat, so they've got to do a better job blocking.
2 wides to the left and 1 to the right. Another run play. Carry goes to Moore. He'll be close to a first down inside Beech territory as they mark it at the 47. A pickup of 11 on the play.
Did a better job on that one, though. Didn't get any pressure. They still got some penetration up the line of scrimmage, but he did a good job of running the football.
3-4 look for Beech. Up front, 138 total tackles and 7 sacks for a group that averages 200 pounds across the front line. We mentioned Jonathan Seitz, 120 tackles and 8 sacks on the year. Mortenson's had a big year with 67 tackles. And Max Zincini, I'm sure we'll be talking about him as we go along tonight. He's a key player not only in the secondary but in the return game as well. And Dwayne Fleming, 74 tackles, 2 picks on the year, both of them in last week's state semifinal game. Just inches shy of a first down, and we'll bring up 3rd and short.
Yeah, Max Zincini had a huge game when we had the Thursday night game down when they played White House earlier this year. He had a couple of touchdown catches and then ran a punt back. So he's a dynamic football player.
Chain gang will make its way back across the field. Tonight's officials, the referee Randy Hodge, Larry Sherfy, the umpire, head linesman Charlie Hutchins, line judge Randall Brewer, the back judge Ronnie Woods, clock operator Brad Grindstaff, and the chain crew is from Region 1. Vance Ballou, a dozen years at Columbia Central. There is his record. A team not really expected to do all that much in their district this year, but all of a sudden they're in the state championship game. Key play early in this one, 3rd and inches, quarterback sneak. It looks like they'll have the first down with a push to the 45.
Yeah, but you got to give it hats off to Coach Ballou. Last year he was 3-7. The year before he was 2-8. The last 4 years they've had no more than 3 wins each season, and obviously he went with a bunch of younger guys, and it certainly paid off for him.
Anthony Crabtree. He didn't wear the hat the first time around this season, but that we saw him earlier in the year against Beech, his 5th year, and his record has the Bucs in the state title game for the first time.
Yeah, Crab looks pretty calm. He wasn't calm when I played with him like that.
Minute and a half in, first throw of the night for Columbia Central is complete. Big gain, a first down, and it will be in the red zone for the first time for Columbia Central. There's the coach's son, Bryant Ballou, with the reception.
And that was just a little play-action fake right there, and that was a good job by Zach Tate of getting his body around and just threw a corner route to Bryant Ballou. You see right here, just threw a corner route, and you see he's moving around. He's got a really good arm right there. Hey, the Beech Buccaneers, their DBs are going to have some problems because Bryant Ballou's a big boy now. He's 6'4", 205 pounds.
Brock Haley saved the touchdown. Ballou a gain of 28. 1st and 10 from the 17. Moving the football well as Columbia. Stopping things for Beech High School is Wesley Aiello after the run by Tredarius Goff, the junior.
And I talked about that first play about Beech able to get some penetration up on the Columbia Central offensive line, but right now it looks like Columbia Central's knocking those guys off the ball and giving their guys some running room.
The Farm Bureau Insurance red zone with the football at the 12-yard line. Columbia Central threatening to score the first points of tonight's game. We had some movement on the left side of the Beech defensive line, right side for Columbia, and we'll find out what the penalty is all about. Or if there even was one. Here's Randy Hodge. It is offsides against Beech. Should be enough for a first down for Columbia. And that's going to set up 1st and goal with the football now marked at the 7-yard line and 9.5 to play in this opening period.
Yeah, you don't want to give that to them as Beech. You give them an easy 5 yards right there, and you don't want to give that up down in the red zone.
Handoff. Goes to Goff, trying to pick his way toward the end zone. Going to be a little bit short. 6-yard gain to the 1 for Tredarius Goff.
Yeah, and heck, he scored 24 touchdowns this year. Really tough running right in between the tackles and lowers his head. He's a good defensive player, but hey, he scored 24 touchdowns on offense, and he had over 1,000 yards rushing, so he's a good football player as well.
Daniel Richardson, the safety, saving the TD. 2nd and goal, football at the 2 for Columbia Central. A wide each way. 2 tight end set. Goff walks in. First points of the night go to Columbia Central High School, 6-0 on a 1-yard run.
And they made that look a little easy right there, Kevin. I mean, they had one big pass play to their stud out on the outside. Had a huge game, but for the majority of the time, they ran the ball right smack dab at Beech and just ran it right down their throat. And you can see their offensive line doing a really good job of getting to their defenders.
Chris Harris on to attempt the extra point. No trouble, 7-0. Columbia an early lead. Couple minutes into this 5A state championship game. Stay with us. Beech gets the football next as we continue with the Blue Cross Bowl.
I need a complete workup stat and call him.
Sir, we have an urgent phone call.
Pressure's dropping.
This is Charlie. No, that's the aorta. Don't cut that.
People know that farmers have some of the best advice around, like you don't have to be a farmer to save money with Farm Bureau Insurance. Farm Bureau Insurance. Tennessee turns to us.
Congratulations to the Columbia Central Lions for a great season and for making it to the Blue Cross Bowl. Brought to you by Middle Tennessee Women's Health with 2 locations in Spring Hill and Columbia.
Getting ready for Christmas shopping? Here at Cartronics, we have a Christmas list guaranteed to put a smile on anyone's face. Check out these Christmas list specials. Remote start was $159, now only $79. Portable navigation was $199, now only $99. In-car TV starting at $159. In-dash TV with DVD and iPod control was $699, now only $299. In-dash double den TV with DVD and navigation was $999, now only $689. Hurry to Cartronics to complete your Christmas shopping, because when they're gone, they're gone.
Everything to customize your car.
You're in a special place, the only place it's available. This is Sundrop Country. Other states just don't get it, but you do. Drink it up. They don't know what they're missing. Here the Sundrop flows freely and you can have all you want. All the flavor, all the refreshment. It's all ours and they can't have it. The distinctive citrus taste can only be found in one place. You're in it. Sundrop Country. Available everywhere that matters.
Congratulations to the Columbia Central Lions for a great season and making it to the Blue Cross Bowl. Brought to you by First Farmers and Merchants Bank.
If you like football.
All right, hit the showers.
Too tired.
I'll get the hose.
You're going to love King of the Hill.
Weeknights at 9:30 on MyTV 30.
Early lead for Columbia Central, 7-0 over Beech in the 5A TSSAA state championship game here in Cookeville. Down to the sidelines now, and we visit with Murphy Fair. Murph?
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Not only is this the coldest game that we've had thus far today, it's also the noisiest. After games involving East and West Tennessee teams in the first 2 today, this one's all mid-state. First-timers, as you mentioned, on both sides, and it's a noisy crowd for sure.
Short kickoff goes to the 25. Decent return to the outside. A big gain inside Columbia Central territory. With the carry, that was Brock Haley, and he's going to set up great field position for Beech. A 35-yard return.
Well, they tried a little pooch kick right there, and it kind of backfired on the Columbia Central guys. He almost took it to the house. It was he got some good blocking. He just used his speed to get down the sideline.
Well, there you look at the blocks that were made, and when the guy to beat is the kicker and he has to wait for some help, that's bad news for the kickoff coverage. Ball at the 40, 1st and 10 for Beech. High formation for the Buccaneers. Hand off, Haymer to the outside. Has a first down inside the 30, still on his feet. As he bangs it inside the 25 to the 24 on a 15-yard gain on 1st and 10.
Wow, that was a really tough run right there. We saw at the end he lowered his head and tried to get some extra yards. That's what you want your running back to do.
3 seniors and 2 juniors up front for Beech, averaging 253 pounds. Haymer, as we mentioned, 29 carries, 161 yards in the state semifinal. 1,603 yards on the season with 20 TDs on the ground. 1st and 10 at the 25, 8.5 to play first quarter. Columbia Central with the first points, and now Beech trying its hand on offense. Hand off, big hit, and a big stop for Columbia Central. That was Goff for no gain.
Yeah, now we saw why he had all the tackles right there. He just waited. That was a good play on his part, just waiting, being patient for the runner.
Starting lineup for Columbia Central, they average 250 up front. Linebackers, Tredarius Goff, there he is. Triple figures in tackles this year. Add 1 more to that total. And the secondary, 2 seniors, a junior, and a sophomore. Second and 9 as they gave him a yard. Handoff goes to Haymer, stopped again. Good Lions defense, penetrating into the backfield, and there's Jonathan Braden, the senior, or make it junior defensive end, with a stop for the Lions.
Yeah, that was some huge penetration right there, and after the first play that Beech had, when Travis Haymer was able to go around the right side, you know, they've kind of stymied them the last 2 plays and bucked up their neck at him and not let them have a yard.
Loss of 1, make it 3rd and 10. Play fake, rolling out, keeping his feet. The pass is caught. It looked like incomplete.
Yeah, I thought he caught
Jarod
that
Neal, the quarterback, able to get it away in sights. Tried to sell the catch, but they ruled that one incomplete, bringing up 4th and 10.
That was an athletic play by Jarod Neal. He got hit. He had a guy right off the edge. He got his balance back. He threw that, and that really looked like the ball He got his hands underneath that ball.
It was really close, wasn't it?
He really did. I mean, that's one of those plays right there that you wish you had instant replay. I know I've talked about that all year on the broadcast about the play clock and, the instant replay. But that right there, he caught that football. He got both hands underneath it. You did not see that ball hit the ground.
Anthony Crabtree, if you're throwing the red flag, if you're able to do that here, they're going to go for it on 4th and 10. Neal.
Oh, wow. What a play.
Pass complete. And on his way for a score is Ethan Walker, a 25-yard touchdown, and Beech with a chance to tie it.
That was a great call by Coach Crabtree and his staff. They brought pressure just like they did the previous play on both sides, and Jarod Neal did a pretty good job allowing those guys. It's kind of hard sometimes for a quarterback, when you got guys breathing down your neck to sell the thing, and he did a really good job of selling it, kind of fading back, giving ground. And his running back did a really good job, and the offensive line, there was really nobody. They just faked the whole Columbia Central defense out.
And including your play-by-play announcer, too, I think. Extra point time. And banging it through is Clayton Ream. 7-all tie. That man doing the damage, Ethan Walker. He had rushed for 8 touchdowns on the year. Add 1 more.
Well, that's what you do when you got guys that are wanting to put a lot of pressure on your quarterback. You either throw screens or you run draws and try to get them off and let them come. And that was a really good call by Anthony Crabtree and his staff. And you can see right there they brought Tyree Scribner off the backside, which is, he's got a, he didn't think about guys coming out there for a screen. He thought the guy was coming out there to block him, maybe just missed him. And sometimes that happens. You got to be on your toes, and that was a good play call by the Beech Buccaneers.
Short pass to the near side. Walker took it to the house. 5 plays, 40 yards in a minute 47. Walker's receiving numbers on the year, 4 catches for 59, so 5 for 84 after that reception. 5 minutes in, 7-all. As advertised, good matchup here tonight, Kelly. And we talked about nerves for both teams, and that really hasn't been a factor, I don't think.
That's what you want to do. You want to start out on a good note. Usually when you start out on a good note, you're going to have a good night. Both these teams, I mean, it might be a track meet. They've coming in here with their first state championship appearance, but looks like both these teams have done a really good job in preparation and ready to play.
Another short kick fielded at the 20 by Landwehr again. Not quite the return yardage this time, with the ball spotted at the 28. 8-yard return for Landwehr.
Yeah, and they try to pooch punt, and this time the pooch punt for Beech works, whereas the last time that Columbia Central tried it, it didn't turn out too well. Got really good field position for Beech.
There's Landwehr, 5'11" senior, 161 pounds, so Columbia Central will try it again after marching downfield for a score the first time with a football. 13-1. The only loss of the year a few weeks back against Independence, October 9th, 31-28. That's their only setback this year. 2 wides left, 1 to the right. The I formation for Columbia. Handoff, decent hole and a gain of a couple. Gang tackle by Beech. The long-awaited whistle finally sounds, ends that play, and I think Jarod Neal was happy about that after a pickup of 4.
Yeah, it looked like Kyle Mortensen, one of the linebackers, hit him right in the hole, which is, you're going to be the middle linebacker. That's what you got to do. You got to stand up those fullbacks that are trying to block you. You got to shed them and make the tackle.
Well, there is Coach Vance Ballou, his 12th year, starting quarterback at Columbia a few years back. Has his team in the title game, tied at 7 in the first quarter. All kinds of time. Pass intercepted. On his way, knocked out of bounds at the 6-yard line was Dwayne Fleming. That's pickoff number 3 of the year for Fleming. A 28-yard return, and Beech in great shape to take the lead for the first time tonight.
Well, Beech actually, for the first time tonight, they brought pressure. Columbia Central tried it the last 2 plays of their defensive series, but right here they brought pressure on Zach Tate. And then what happens? You're trying to make a play. You got to learn as a young quarterback, you can't make every play. And when you're late throwing the ball and there's a guy coming, it always spells disaster, and that's exactly what happened. He kind of telegraphed his pass. Dwayne Fleming knew exactly where he was throwing. The guy was in front of him. That was a pretty easy pick for Dwayne Fleming.
Robinson was the intended receiver, and the quarterback, Zach Tate, was able to get back there and make the stop. Carry on first down, left side, trying to dig toward the goal line is Travis Haymer. He'll gain 6. Make it 2nd and goal
Yeah, Travis.
Very short.
Travis showed a lot of patience right there behind the smokestack eye, they call it. I didn't think he was going to get anything. And he followed his blockers, and his offensive line kept working. He finally found the seam.
Got a look at Dwayne Fleming there a moment ago. The junior corner, 6 feet, 175 pounds. Stack eye one more time for Beech. On the sneak, they push it into the end zone. It is Neal, and it's a touchdown from 2 yards.
Man, there's a lot of action in this game at the start of the game, Kevin. I mean, it seems like it might be a track meet. You never know.
2 touchdowns in the span of a minute and a half. The turnover makes it happen for Beech. They turned it into 6 points and a chance to make it 7 here with the extra point.
If you're going to win a state championship, though, when a team gives you the ball and turns the ball over, you got to make them pay, and that's exactly what the Beech Buccaneer offense did.
Here's Clayton Green back on the field for the extra point attempt. They await the snap. Right down the middle. 14-7, the Buccaneers lead after a couple unanswered touchdowns. A lot to cheer about for the Beech fans making their way over from Sumner County. And with 5:36 to play in the first, the Bucs have their first lead of the night on a 2-yard plunge by that man.
Yeah, we talked about getting off to a fast start, but I don't think if you're the Beech Buccaneer coaching staff and Anthony Crabtree, I don't think you could have asked for a better start. I don't think you would have scripted it any better. You know, you take the ball down, you get a pooch punt or a pooch kick, and your guy returns it for a substantial amount of yardage, and then you get in their end of the football field. You know, and you look at the Beech's first 2 drives. They started at the Columbia Central 40 and then started at the 8-yard line. So, you know, when you can start on their end of the football field, you know, that's just an added plus.
So kickoff time again for Beech. Anthony Crabtree's team only 2 losses on the season this year. Impressive records for both teams. Beech lost its opener against Smyrna and then to Gallatin in October, and that's been it.
Then you talked to Coach Crabtree. I talked to him yesterday, and he felt like the nerves were getting to his guys. They were anxious and they were ready to go, and that's what you have in these type games. But you know, you listen to Coach talk, and sometimes we're not very good.
They'll let that one go out of bounds, and it'll be decent field position for Columbia as the penalty marker flies in.
And he sounds like Lou Holtz when Lou Holtz used to say they was playing Rutgers and they were the #1 team in the country, and they were talking about Rutgers had a chance to beat them. And you know, everybody knows that. Come on, Lou, you got to be kidding me. And that's kind of what Anthony Crabtree sounds like sometimes.
Can he do magic tricks like Lou Holtz can? Have you seen the one where he tore up the newspaper on?
I have seen that one, yes. And I've got a lot of stories from guys I played with that played at Notre Dame. He's got a lot of funny stories about Lou Holtz.
He's an interesting cat. 1st and 10 ball at the 35 after the kickoff went out of bounds. And here's Columbia Central's offense. A pick on the last series thrown by Zach Tate. On the ground, spinning out of trouble is Moore. A first down and more to Beech territory.
I like that, Kevin. Nice play on words. Yeah. I thought you
make the big buck.
But you know, this Moore kid, I mean, he's looking. You know, we're talking about golf, but he's kind of a stocky guy, short to the ground. It's hard to bring down. He's you know, he is kind of like a spark plug. He's one of those guys that looks like he's got good vision, and he sees the hole, and he's following his blockers. And you know, I was just about to say that you know, they didn't handle this pressure that Beech gave to him the last time. I'm sure Beech is going to do it again, but they didn't.
Play action from midfield. Near side pass. Tate finds Ballou for a first down. Well, spotted at the 21, a 29-yard gain.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's the big guy coming in, and you know that you know, Beech knows who Bryant Ballou is. You know, the guy's going to the UT Chat. He's a big kid. You can't miss him. Just runs a corner route, kind of the opposite play from what they ran earlier in the game. He ran it to the left. This time he runs it to the right. And there's really nobody on him. I mean, if he can throw that ball where he doesn't have to make an acrobatic catch and he can keep his feet, he probably scores, because both the guys underneath coverage went for the hitch.
Already a nice night for the coach's son, Bryant Ballou. Rolling, firing toward the end zone. It's a touchdown. There he is again. 21-yard reception by Bryant Ballou, and we're a point away from being tied.
I mean, the way this game's going, Kevin, this is exciting. I mean, They've scored, with the exception of that one that they threw a pick on, they've scored every time. And it's another corner route. It's just a play action pass, and they brought pressure once again but didn't get there. And I'm not sure if anybody can cover the kid.
Man, he was back there all by himself. Taylor Cash was trying to cover him and barely even in the picture. Point after attempt is good by Harris, and we're tied again at 14. Shootout in this first quarter.
It really is. I mean, it's pretty amazing what these offenses are doing right now. Beech has kind of had the privilege of being in Columbia Central's territory, but Columbia Central's taking it down in 2 really impressive drives. It got stopped because they threw an interception, but it's good to see a quarterback after he throws an interception and he causes, that's pretty much what caused the touchdown. Comes back and he has 2 huge pass plays to his favorite target. And, as a quarterback, you've got to have a short memory. You got to kind of have amnesia. And, obviously, Zach Tate has got that, and that's what you have to have as a quarterback. You got to forget what happened. You got to go to the next play.
Even the drummers are bundled up. So is Murphy Farrell. Let's send it down there to the sidelines. Murphy, how you holding up?
Oh, I'm doing well so far, Kevin. I was just going to make the comment, though. You guys might ought to get the calculator out. I think Beech scored 50 last week. The week before that, Columbia scored 50. They had a 50-44 shootout with Anderson County. It's going to be more like a track meet, I've got a feeling, than a football game.
Well, it's been that so far. 2 touchdowns for each side. We had Goff on a 1-yard run. We had Neal to Walker for 25 to get Beech on the board. And then Jarod Neal on a 2-yard plunge to push Beech ahead. And then just moments ago, Zach Tate hooking up with Bryant Ballou on a 21-yard strike.
Yeah, so could be a track meet. Be nice to have one of those games, though. I'm sure both defensive coordinators are not enjoying it right now.
I'm sure they.
I'm sure both head coaches are pretty upset at what's going on defense. So,
well, a quick drive for Columbia. 3 plays, 65 in only 40 seconds. Here's the kickoff. Deep kick this time. Taken by Haymer. We'll push it out to the 27, 28-yard line for Beech. All right, understand that that is Vance Ballou. Sometimes those guys are hard to locate down on the sidelines. 12 seasons, state title game appearance. Bundled up as are everybody else here except for the players pretty much. Just over 5 minutes to play first quarter. Columbia blows up that play. They went to Haymer, and there is Goff.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's Tre'Darius Goff again. Talented football player, and he just came right up the middle and made a huge play in the backfield.
There's the handoff, and right there to greet him.
Submarined.
2 different defenders. Yeah, it was Goff and also Rodney Lockridge, the defensive end, the senior. Loss of a couple. 2nd and 12, ball at the 21. Check that, make the ball at the 26-yard line. Little counter goes to Haymer. Nothing happening on that one either. Might have got one, but that's about it. There's Lockridge again, number 66.
They just tried a little counter play where they faked to the fullback one way and brought the blocking to the other side and brought the tailback on a counter step, and trying something new because obviously running right at him right now is not working for Beech.
No gain on the play. 3rd and 11. Hard to believe. We're only in the first quarter. 14 apiece, so 3:42 to go. Beech tonight 0 for 1 on 3rd down. Jarod Neal brings him to the line of scrimmage. Near side handoff. This is Walker. Won't have enough for a first down. The clock will continue to roll as he's tackled at the 35.
Well, they tried a few things different right there. They've tried to, first couple of series, they tried to run the ball right at them. Had some success on the very first play of the game, but after that, Columbia Central's done a pretty good job. So Coach Crabtree and his guys ran a counter and then ran kind of a sweep. They got some yardage, so I would say that's something they would go back to in the latter part of the game.
Zincini on to punt. Only 1 punt last week for 35 yards in the state semifinal game. Penalty marker flies in. Punt will be fielded
on the return
by Tyree Scribner. 30
yards
yards on the punt, but I don't know if we'll bring it back and try it again or what the penalty will be about, as we'll find out from Randy Hodge. So formation is the call. They'll decline the penalty, and Columbia will take the punt in good field position once again with the ball at the 43.
Really good field position. And I'll tell you what, Scribner was kind of risky what he did right there. Usually when you're coming up and you run up as a punt return to catch the football, there's normally guys all around you, and there was one guy, the gunner, was close to him, but he did a really good job of catching that ball and fielding it, and if he could have kept his feet, he might have had a bigger gain. There's a lot of times when that happens, the guy's running up, guys are coming at you, you kind of lose focus of the ball, your eyes start bobbing back and forth, and you fumble the football.
Well, Columbia lit him up through the air last time around. Play action here. Scrambling is Tate, not going to get much. Loss of 2.
Quarterback tackle.
Or a gain of 2, I should say, after the tackle by Kincaid.
Well, they came back with the same play, and they were looking for Bryant Ballou again on another corner route. They ran that play to the right, to the left, come back again to the left. You got to give it to Coach Ballou. If they're not going to stop it, you got to keep running. And he was actually open again. I don't know if Zach Tate couldn't see him or what, but he did get some pressure by the Buccaneers defensive line.
Sophomore defensive end Marquise Kincaid, 51 tackles, couple sacks on the year. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8 as we near the 2-minute mark in the first quarter. Run play. That's Moore to midfield. Pickup of 6. Bring up 3rd and short.
Yeah, the Buccaneers defense right there ran a run stunt, a run blitz by the linebackers. They had a pretty good bead that they were going to try to run the football, and it was a good guess, but you got to put that many people up in the line of scrimmage. You got to make, you can't let him have that much yardage.
3rd and 2 call it, just inside Beech territory at the 49. 90 seconds to play in the first quarter. And off, Goff, first down. Past the 40 and dragged down near the 35. Trade Arias Goff, the junior back. There you see him, number 30. Conversion on 3rd down keeps this drive moving and the chains moving as well after a pickup of 12.
Yeah, he's a load to bring down, Kevin. He's 5'10", 222 pounds. He's a junior. But you look at him, man, he doesn't look like he's picking up any yardage, but he's moving, and he's bringing a package when he arrives at a defender as well.
Outside linebacker Taylor Cash out there on the edge to make the play. 1st and 10 at the 37. Play action. Tate. Good coverage by Beech. Tate will take off. Middle of the field, a big lick applied by number 37, Alex Gomer right there, the linebacker. That's the downside of running the football, as you quarterbacks know.
Yeah, that was a huge hit right there. Zach Tate needs to get down to save himself.
Get Rex Ryan in here to give him that message.
Yeah, they did a really good job. They were trying to look for Bryant Ballou again on the corner route, but the Buccaneers were back, and you gave up. I mean, Zach Tate had all day. He could have eaten a lunch back there. Finally decided to take off and run, but you got to get down as a quarterback.
Gomer says hello. Here's Moore taking off. He'll have a first down in the red zone. Ball at the 15 after that game.
Tackle by number 12, Brock Haley.
17-yard pickup for the tackle by Haley as we're down to 14 seconds to play in the quarter.
Beech is giving up huge gains in Columbia Central. Their offensive line is just, you just watch the blue shirts they're just absolutely destroying the Beech defensive line, and that's what's opening big gashes up in their defense.
And Jarod Neal took advantage of that big gash. Time will run down on an action-packed first quarter in this 5A state championship game in Cookeville, Tennessee. A lot to cheer about for both sides as each has put up a pair of touchdowns to make it 14-14 after 12 minutes of football. Stay with us. Second quarter coming up next between Beech and Columbia Central, the Blue Cross Bowl.
If
you're driving under the influence in Tennessee, you're gonna get nailed. Booze it and lose it.
Do you know where I can find
drill bits? L7.
Thank you.
Hey, aren't you Charlie?
Charlie's here?
Charlie?
Charlie?
People know that farmers have some of the best advice around, like you don't have to be a farmer to save money with Farm Bureau Insurance. Farm Bureau Insurance. Tennessee turns to us.
This happens a lot.
Christmas sale at Family Leisure. Relax and unwind in a new spa, $13.99. Saunas, $12.99. Wicker. Tanning beds, $14.99. Play jumps, 1 year free financing.
From our family to your family.
Merry Christmas.
The Auto Giant brings you savings. It's Toyotathon at Rivergate Toyota. New 2010 Corolla, now $15,998. Drive it. $199 down, $199 a month. New 2010 RAV4, only $21,498. Drive it. $279 down, $279 a month. New 2010 Camry LE, a low $19,998. Drive it. $229 down, $229 a month. Toyotathon at Rivergate Toyota Scion, home of the best deal.
Congratulations to the Columbia Central Lions for a great season and for making it to the Blue Cross Bowl. Brought to you by Middle Tennessee Women's Health with 2 locations in Spring Hill and Columbia.
Catch The Simpsons weeknights at 9 on MyTV30.
Second quarter begins, tied at 14. The Bucs and the Lions in this 5A state championship game in Cookeville, the Blue Cross Bowl. Kevin Ingram, Kelly Holcomb, Murphy Fair, our entire crew. Glad to have you with us tonight, wherever you are around the state. First and 10 from the 15 for Columbia as they threaten to score again. Here's Moore, and he'll bang it down inside the 5-yard line before being upended. Saw Jarod Moore run 6 times for 53 yards. A net of 51 in the first period, a gain of 12 there. It'll be first and goal now for Columbia Central.
But you just look at the stats, and obviously they got aided. Beech did by the turnover, but 163 yards for Columbia Central. They're running up and down the field. And there's only 55 by Beech, so starting to get out of hand, offensive and defensive line wise for Beech.
First and goal from the 3. They snap it to Goff. He'll turn right and make his way into the end zone for his second score of the night. Tredarius Goff, a 3-yard run on a direct snap, and that pushes Columbia back in front.
Put him in the old Wildcat formation, and like I said, offensive line for Columbia Central is just kind of manhandling the Beech Buccaneer defensive line, and he really didn't get touched until he was at the goal line.
It's Harris on for the point after. Been a busy man so far tonight. They get it down, and he bangs it through to make it 21-17 in favor of Columbia Central High School, leading Beech 21-14.
Good blocking, sealed the edge. Right there, that was a good block by Robert Boyd, who sealed the edge right there and allowed Tredarius Goff to get around the edge. And like I said, nobody even touched him until he was at the goal line. So when you're getting blocking like that, you're in trouble if you're Beech. You've got to, those defensive coaches have got to get over there on the sideline and get on the chalkboard and think of something, because right now, man for man, they're not really standing up against Columbia Central's offensive line.
26 touchdowns now rushing on the year for Goff. Came into tonight's game with 1,081 yards on the ground and has added to that total and 2 more TDs. You see the scoring drive there for Columbia Central. And Kelly, you talked about that total offense number, 57 more to add to it.
Yeah, I mean, that's they're totally dominating the line of scrimmage, and they're dominating the game right now. I know it's 21-14, but like I said, they aided Beech in giving them a turnover early in the football game and allowing those guys to go up 14-7. But since then, they've scored 14 unanswered, and it's because their offensive line is just totally dominating the line of scrimmage.
178 total yards now for Columbia Central. They'll kick it away. We've seen them stay away from Max Incini. We know how dangerous he can be. And Anthony Crabtree told me that after that game that we did on TV that folks are a little wary of him. Here's the kickoff. It'll be Haymer. He initiates the contact as he's tackled at the 30-yard line after a gain of 19.
Yeah, he sure did. And Javin Blaylock right there got the brunt of Mr. Haymer. He looked like he was a little upset about what's going on right now, and he took that out on on the Columbia Central Lions.
So here come the Bucs. Primarily run-oriented offense. They've pushed in 2 scores back in the first quarter. Back-to-back touchdowns. One a pass by Jarod Neal, the quarterback, and one on a 2-yard run. They'll give you the wing T look. Hand off. And again, big contact. Travis Haymer met for no gain. Jonathan Braden one more time, the defensive end, number 50 right there for Columbia Central.
And we talk about the offensive line of Columbia's dominating Beech. Right now, their defensive line is also dominating Beech's offensive line. So, you know, when you win the trenches, that's when you win the battles, and that's usually when you win football games. And right now, they're doing a really good job on both sides of the line of scrimmage.
No gain makes it 2nd and 10 from the 30. A little counter look, and this is going to be a big gain. Jonathan Seitz deep inside Columbia Central territory before being tackled at the 25. 45-yard gain for Seitz, one of the guys we featured to start the night.
Yeah, and we said, you know, he's not only a good defensive football player, but they use a little misdirection play right there and bring him back underneath the line of, underneath the guy, underneath the quarterback, behind the line of scrimmage. And you know, this wing T stuff, you really got to know where the football is. We've talked about that several times in our broadcast on Thursday night, but the quarterback has got to do an excellent job of faking the football, and he really did right there. He faked to the fullback and brought it back to Jonathan Seitz underneath, and they got a huge gain.
DeVaris Mosley, the senior corner, closed in a hurry to save the touchdown, or at least to shut down the play before it gained anymore. Play action, putting the football in the air is Neal, tipped and incomplete right at the goal line, trying to go to Zincini. Gerald Cisco, the corner on the coverage for Columbia.
Yeah, and Landwehr right there blitzed off the backside. Jarod Neal did not see him, but you know what? As a receiver, Max Zincini has got to catch that football, and that was the reason that he had to kind of had to throw it before he was ready. But you got to, I mean, that was a good ball under duress right there. And if you're Max Zincini, we've seen him make plays like that, even in that game we had where he went up over a DB. You got to make that play, especially in a state championship game.
2nd and 10. Haymer, the only man in the backfield. They will hand it off this time. Ball carrier is Walker to this near side. Out to make the play, Ethan Myers, the middle linebacker, the senior.
He looked like he got a cleat in the back, or he did something to his back.
Under 10 to play in the first half. Anthony Crabtree hoping his team can get even with a score here, but facing a 3rd and 7 with the ball at the 22.
They're getting pretty creative with what they're doing, calling plays, which I like. You know, they did that in the game that we featured.
0 for 2 on 3rd down. Beech hoping for a big conversion right here. Jarod Neal lets everyone know what the play call is. We'll hand it off. Haymer will be stopped short.
I think he's going to be short, Kevin.
Got it to the 17. They needed to get to about the 15.5. Pick up a 5.
And I don't think there's any question. I mean, they're not even thinking about sending the field goal unit out.
So Beech will go for it here.
I thought it was a little closer than it is. It looks like it's 4th and over 2.
Yeah. Columbia Central, pretty big advantage in total offense tonight. 4th and 2 for Beech. Haley, left side. He might have got it.
Well, it's going to be close.
It's going to be really close.
And I don't think with the line judge on Columbia's sideline, I don't think he got it.
Haley cut back in, took the contact from Myers. Yeah, I think you're right. If you look where the official on the far sideline was running in.
I don't think you got it, Kevin.
Here comes the chain gang for the measurement. Oh, well, Max Zincini was going to block us off there for a minute. Columbia Central holds, and the Lions will get the football. A big stop after Beech had driven deep inside Lions territory.
And I tell you what, right now Beech's defense has got to come out here and they got to get a stop on Columbia Central because they don't need to. The way they've looked and the way Columbia's looked offensively, you know, 28-14. You know, I'm sure Coach Crabtree does not want that.
8:44 to play, second quarter. Columbia Central 21 and Beech 14. Lions get the football back at their own 16. Run play Moore, big hole. They'll take it to the outside and get past the 30.
That right there is just Woody Hayes smash mouth football. Just line up and run it right at somebody. I mean, he's running right up the center's back.
It's a gain of 15 as they'll spot it at the 32.
You see those big guys right there pulling. Shaquille Mason and Edward Plant pulling to get Moore, Mr. Moore, a huge hole to get out. Huge gain.
Zincini made the play. It's Moore again. And met by Mr. Seitz. No gain. Maybe a loss of 1.
And we talked about him in the opener. He's going to have a big game. And he's going to have to step up right here. Make some plays as he did right there. They brought another run blitz by the linebackers, and it worked.
Jonathan Seitz also a blocked field goal in the semifinal game last week. The senior, we featured him to begin this game. 6 feet, 210 pounds, and a senior. And there's Jarod Moore. 9 carries for 89. Not a bad average, close to 9 yards. High formation for Columbia Central, play action. Plenty of time to throw. Caught. No, intercepted. Zincini got it. Zincini bringing it back. 40, 45 to midfield. And back inside Columbia Central territory on a 31-yard interception return by Max Zincini.
Well, that was kind of like a punt right there. Obviously, you don't want that, but you know, Max Zincini, I'm sure he wished he had that touchdown catch back, but he made up for it right there with the. He was in really good coverage, and they tried to run the same play that they've been running. They ran a hitch underneath with Bryant Ballou with a corner out, and that's who they were looking for.
Well, Tate just threw that one up for grabs.
Yeah, exactly. There was 2 guys on him. You know, and Max Zincini, it actually went through. That ball was obviously meant for him to catch because it went through his hands. He didn't catch it with his hands. It bounced off his chest, but he ended up catching the football.
John Robinson was the intended receiver, number 12 for Columbia Central, and here comes Beech again. Haymer at the Tennessee Tech logo at midfield. Pickup of 2 on the first down carry. Mr. Zincini showing the state his Beech colors.
Travis Haymer, he's you know, he's 5'10", he's a 170-pound junior, but he runs really hard. I mean, he puts his head down, his shoulder down. He's not a very big guy, but when he lowers his head, he brings it. He's got a lot of leg strength.
Under 7 to play, first half. Stack eye for Beech. It'll be the third man. Haymer bounces off 1 defender, but can't escape Columbia Central. There's Tredarius Goff on the bottom of the pile, number 30. Loss of 4.
Well, they tried to get their offensive lineman, number 64, Cole Neighbors, out in front of Travis Haymer, and he actually whiffed on the block. He was supposed to block Tredarius Goff, which you got to. If he blocks Goff right there and pins him, that could have been a huge game for Travis Haymer.
You know, Goff was actually the man that he bounced off of to start the play and then ended up making the tackle. Play action. Roll out for Neal. Pass complete as he got it out there to Walker. 6 minutes to play in this first half. Into the sidelines we go, and our man Murphy Fair.
Thanks a lot, guys. We've got Gina Beaver down here with Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Gina, we've seen this MVMT all over the stadium. Tell us what that's all about.
Well, it's actually Movement for Life. It is our new ad campaign, and it's really more than an ad campaign. It's our campaign that Blue Cross has to make Tennessee a healthier place. The state ranks as one of the unhealthiest states in the nation, and we really want to do our part to change that. And Movement for Life is all about getting people to make small steps every single day. We're not asking anybody to do a marathon, but take the stairs instead of the elevator. Little decisions like that. Maybe have some carrots instead of a candy bar. And that's all what the Movement for Life is about.
That's what our guys in the press box have been doing, taking the stairs instead of the elevator, because there is no elevator, right?
We've all been taking the stairs. I'm feeling the burn, let me tell you. But people can go online to mvmtforlife.com and make a proclamation. It's going to be time for New Year's resolutions before we know it. And one of the, it's easy to not follow through on your New Year's resolution when you promise yourself. But when you make a proclamation, you can go online to mvmtforlife.com and make a proclamation. You can have some accountability. Other people can support you online through kind of a social networking aspect. So it's a really cool thing.
Sounds like it, guys. There's your resolution, or at least part of it for the new year.
Yeah, we were looking for the elevator or escalator to make our way up to the press box, and we took 3 laps around the stadium and none to be found. After the punt, Columbia Central has the football.
Well, they had a little miscommunication right there between the back and Zach Tate. Zach Tate thought he was going to do something, and obviously either he didn't get it, he had a mishap. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes as a quarterback you line up under the guard, which, hey, that happens.
It's going to be tough to get the football that way.
Yeah.
Vance Ballou, his team, with a loss of 2 on that first down play. Under 5 to go in the first half. Carry by Goff, taking defenders with him. Got the first down. Or close to it anyway. I think he's going to have it by about maybe a yard or so. Gain of 13.
Yeah, but you just get, if you're Beech, you get those guys in a loss. And you get them 2nd and 12, 2nd and 11. And then you allow them to get a first down. You just cannot have that happen. You got those guys backed up, and if you can get them stopped on three snaps, then you can get an opportunity to get the ball back and get pretty good field position.
Columbia Central with 11 first downs in this first half. Beech with only 3, but they only trail by a touchdown. Moore tripped up with a pickup of 3.
And Beech better be glad he got tripped up.
Yeah, he had some room to the outside, didn't he?
That was going to be a huge gain. He had a huge hole.
Second and 6. 26-yard line for the Lions of Columbia Central. A shutout last week against Sullivan South, 24-0 to make it to this state title game, but more of a shootout tonight. Here's Moore again. They'll gain a couple on the 2nd and 6 carry to bring up a 3rd and 4, and penalty on the play. That'll be a hold here. That'll negate the yardage and back him up a little bit more.
Yeah, if I was Coach Ballou, though, I mean, we did a game last year. I was in the state championship game when we was in Murfreesboro, and it was Mitchell, and they were running the ball over. I think it was Knoxville Catholic. And I wouldn't have thrown the ball not once, and they threw a couple of them, and they got some interceptions. And they end up losing the football game, and then you look at what Columbia's doing. They've got some big plays, obviously, throwing the football, but with the way that they're manhandling the Beech defensive line right now, I might not put another ball in the air unless I have to.
First penalty of the night for Columbia Central, 10 yards for holding. Pushes them back to the 19. Some movement up front for Beech. Might get 5 of it back.
Smart play.
Difficulty with our referees, Mike. Randy Hodge. Second and 11, 3:20 to go. First half. Scoring has settled down a little bit. We haven't had a touchdown in about 8 minutes of game time here.
Yeah, that's hurting.
Goff on the carry. Beech broke that one up with Devontae Cobb, the linebacker, number 29, the sophomore, helping out.
And now if you're Beech, you really need to stop. You'd like to get the ball back, get some pretty good field position, hopefully, and just get an opportunity to go back down and get something positive going offensively.
Well, they've had some chances. A big stop on 4th down for Columbia earlier in this quarter, and now with 2.5 to go. It's 3rd and long, 3rd and 10 here for the Lions. Passing down, Tate sends it airborne. Complete this time. Nope, dropped. Ballou had it for a second, but unable to hang on to the football and get the first down as Zincini, number 5, there again for Beech.
That was a pretty good play by Max Zincini. Actually, the Zach Tate, it was a 16-yard in route. That's all it was. He got really good time, if you can watch, and then he threw the ball kind of behind him. And then he looked like he was going to catch the football, but Zencini was in position where he could knock his hands down and knock at the football, rip at the football, and that's exactly what happened to cause that incompletion.
Eric Ballou on to punt. Another of the coach's sons and brother of Bryant. Little rollout kick, rugby style, and fairly effective as it bounces to the 43.
Yeah, those are fairly effective. I'm still not used to seeing them. Middle Tennessee does that one sometimes.
35 yards on the punt. Beech will get the football when we come back, trailing by a touchdown with 2:15 to play in the first half of this 5A championship.
Here's the thing about life. You get back what you put into it. Life rewards those who work harder, who care more, who give it their best. They can give a little more. That's what makes the people of St. Thomas Health Services the best at taking care of you and your family, so you can get the most out of life.
Christmas sale at Family Leisure. Get a gift for the whole family. Slate pool tables, $8.99. Bar with stools, $6.99. Home theater seating, $7.99. Game room items, 1 year free financing.
From our family to your family.
Merry Christmas.
Hey Nashville, looking for a used car or truck? Low payments? 3 words.
Dun'll do it.
Dunn Pontiac Buick GMC is a great place for new and the best place for used. Dunn now dominates the used car demand in Nashville.
Dun'll do it.
400 cars on the lot now.
Dun'll do
no
it.
credit or bad credit.
Dun'll do it.
The Dunn used car lot now open, now ready. Bring your trade, any trade. Dunn has trucks, SUVs, any make, any model. Dun'll do it. The Dunn used car lot where most cars are under $98.88, like these. It's a done deal on used cars at Dunn Pontiac Buick GMC. Where
Dun'll do it.
Hi, can I talk to you just for a second? I just saw that you came out of Red Lobster.
Yeah, we did.
How much did you spend in there?
50 something.
Okay, yikes. Well, could I show you what you could have got at Captain D's? Our wild Alaskan salmon dinner, seafood scampi platter, seasoned tilapia dinner,
Get it
shrimp
out.
skewers,
That is very, very good.
shrimp lovers trio. All this plus $15 back as well.
Are you serious?
Try Captain D's delicious shrimp lovers trio, seasoned tilapia dinner, seafood scampi platter, and more. Sit-down food at fast food prices.
Community First Bank and Trust congratulates Columbia Central High School for competing for the state title. Community First Bank and Trust is Columbia's hometown bank and has been serving Columbia and Murray County for over 10 years. Go Lions!
21-14, Columbia Central with the advantage over Beech. 5A state championship game here at Cookeville tonight, the Blue Cross Bowl. Coming up at halftime, only 2 minutes and 15 seconds of game time away. Our Booze It and Lose It halftime report presented by the Governor's Highway Safety Office. Paul Jones and Murphy Fair will be handling all of that, including interviews with the general manager and group director from ITV 30, Steve Mann, and also Bernard Childress, the executive director of the TSSAA. And it's coming up shortly. Booze It and Lose It halftime report. First and 10, 43-yard line for Beech. Trying to get something done here before the break. Passing complete, sailed it over the head of Mr. Seitz, I should say. A little brain freeze right there. Jarod Neal, of course, the quarterback, and it was too high for Seitz.
Yeah, Jonathan Seitz did a really good job of going up the field and getting the defender turned, and then he had him covered, and then he slapped him through and let the defender go and then ran an out route. And if Jarod Neal would have thrown a better ball, he had him for a pretty good game.
Last 3 possessions for Beech. A punt, a loss on downs, and a 4th down stop by Columbia, and another punt. 2nd and 10. And they'll blow this one dead before it gets started. Likely a procedure call against the Bucs here. Haven't had too many penalties so far tonight. Procedure is the call against Beech. Mark that one off 5 yards.
Columbia's had none.
They did have one on a hold, remember? I think maybe the last series.
Oh, it was the last series, you're right. Yeah, but up until that point they had none, so they're playing a pretty good game. You know, and usually when you come into a game like this and you got a lot of nerves going, you have some penalties, but penalties, we've said this before, penalties are what beat you.
3 now for 15 yards for Beech tonight. Quick pass near side Zencini. 45, trying to dig for midfield, but forced out at the 48. Goff over there on the coverage for Columbia. Also Cisco, you see him right there, number 1, the junior corner. Had a pick last week, Cisco did, to help set up a touchdown in their state semifinal win.
Yeah, but Beech is trying something new right there. You know, they've been trying to jam it up in there with their wing T style of offense, but they got 3 receivers out, and they just threw like a little quick now route to Max Incini to try to get some yardage back, and they got a pretty substantial amount. Make
Third and 5.
Yeah, 3rd and 5.
48-yard line. The fake, and Neal to throw. Complete to Zincini. First down, and dragged down inside the 30.
Nice play. That was a really nice play. They took Jonathan Seitz and looked like he was going to run a wheel route.
21.
Always a play fake usually with these teams, and just ran him on a slant route. Just ran Max Zincini on a slant route and put the underneath defenders took Jonathan Seitz on the wheel route.
A timeout asked for. There's Zincini's numbers on the night. 21 on that last play. And we've seen Beech, Kelly, drive it pretty well inside of Columbia territory, but not a lot to show for a couple of these. And I know Anthony Crabtree would like to find the end zone, maybe even this thing up before we go to the break after an impressive half really on both sides for Columbia.
Well, they started out on fire. You know, the first 2 possessions they had the huge kick return on the very first kick, and then they got the interception. And then up until that point, you know, they were really rolling. You know, they were in Columbia's territory the whole time. Started at the 40 and the 8, we said, but you know, up until now they've done really nothing. They've had a punt, they turned it over on downs, and had another punt, and hadn't really looked good. But they're starting to get things back together. Starting to get some things going positive in their way, and they really need something right here before the half. They got a minute 53 to do something, and if they can go in here tie 21-21, it's like 0-0. You got 2 more quarters, and it's. Everything is on the line for the state championship in the second half.
Playing for the 5A state title. Both these teams in it for the first time. Great crowds for both sides. They're at Tennessee Tech. And they've done an outstanding job of hosting this event as well. 102 to go, first half, 1st and 10 for Beech. Haymer, the ball carrier, digging for the 20 and stopped at the 21. He gained 6 to bring up 2nd and 4.
I know that Anthony Crabtree and his offensive coaches, I mean, they run the wing too. They're going to run the football, but they've got Max Zincini. They've had him split out all the way over here to the sideline. And they've got Gerald Cisco on him, who weighs 151 pounds. There is no help. I mean, that's one of those times where you, as a coach, you might like to chuck one down the sideline. They're going for it right here.
Short drop. Lob toward the end zone. Zincini, he came down with it. It's a touchdown. 21 yards, and Beech a chance to tie it again.
Zincini, touchdown.
There you go. They actually covered him that time. The play before, they didn't cover him. If they would have had an audible system to go to, they'd have been able to audible to something like that. But they actually got a guy over there, but the safety wasn't fast enough to get over there. And that's, you wish they would have done that the play before, but it all works out because Zincini, I mean, he did that in the game we did earlier in the year. He went up and got the ball, and he did it again right there.
Just up for grabs, and Zincini able to come down with it. Here's Clayton Ream to attempt the point after and try to tie this game at 21. You see the time there on the scoreboard, 1:14 to go in the first half. Kick is good. Flag on the play.
Kick by number 30 is good. That's Ream.
Ream made the point after. Procedure is the call. Randy Hodge, tonight's referee.
Every time I see Randy Hodge, he looks like my old defensive coordinator at Cleveland, who was at Minnesota for a long time, just passed away, Foge Fazio. He looks just like him. So if
he kind of has the dark glasses like Ralph Friedgen a little bit too.
Every time I see him, Foge just passed away the other day. He died of leukemia at 71, and I don't know if anybody down here knows him, but send our condolences up to his family in Pittsburgh.
It'll be a 25-yard extra point attempt now, and no trouble for Ream on that one either. The penalty was of no consequence, and we are tied at 21 with 1:14 to go in the first half.
And that was a huge momentum booster right there for the Beech Buccaneers. They, the last 3 possessions, they hadn't really looked very good offensively, and right there they had a huge play on a 3rd down pass to Max Zincini, and then alluded to it, and I thought, and Crabtree and those guys didn't miss it. They looked at the coverage. They've got somebody looking at the coverage all the time, and they actually covered him on that play. The play before, they had Gerald Cisco out there all by himself, and there was no help whatsoever. And Max Incini made a good TD reception.
There's the connection right there, Jarod Neal and Max Incini, and that was the second TD pass of the night for Neal. He hooked up with Ethan Walker earlier. Scoring drive only took a little over a minute, 5 plays and 57 yards. Incini's had a big night already. A touchdown to go with a pick. The Buccaneers mascot. So the fans doing the push-ups, and I think going into this game, you read some of the predictions and so forth coming in, and I think a lot of people couldn't decide who they thought was supposed to win this thing. Read Bo Patton and Chip Cirillo and the Tennessean, and I think each one of them maybe picked a different side, and so it's been as advertised with a 21-21 tie.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's a toss-up. I think both these, alluded to it a bunch, but it's their first times. But I think both these coaching staffs and both these teams have kind of a blue-collar, workman's-like attitude, and I think it shows.
Another short kick. The bounce to the 30. Columbia Central going to get decent field position out of this.
It's kind of scary right there when you don't feel the ball in the air, because you never know what that football is going to do, and you'd like your up man to come get it, but he just relied on Tyree Scribner to come up and get the football and hit the ground, which is a little scary. I'm sure the coach was holding his breath.
Yeah, you see Scribner right there, number 23, going off, and this is a type offense for Columbia that can move it down the field and score here, with a minute 10 to go.
They can score quick because they have been known to do a no huddle. I know everybody's got a 2-minute, but they can't come out in no huddle, so I'm sure this is no big deal for those guys. They can get it down the field, get big chunks fast.
Tate will go from the gun here. A little over a minute to go first half. Drops and looks to throw. Pressured and scrambles. Unloads, incomplete.
The intended receiver, number 2, Landwehr.
The intended receiver was Landwehr, number 2, in the general vicinity of that football after the rollout by Tate.
And Kincaid was all over him. Beech got some pretty good pressure on him. He had an opportunity to try to get something downfield, and he had enough time to throw the football, but Beech did a really good job in their secondary of holding those guys down and having man-on-man, and Zach Tate couldn't find anybody.
Tate 3 of 7 passing for 78 yards, 1 TD, and a couple picks on the night. From the 34 on 2nd and 10. He'll go from the gun one more time. Here comes the heat. Throws it away again. Yeah, that was borderline, wasn't it? And I think Beech's fans thought so as well.
Yeah, he didn't get that ball back to the line of scrimmage. I know he was outside of the pocket, but I'm not sure, there was nobody around there. I don't know why they didn't call that intentional grounding.
55 ticks remaining in the first half. Vance Ballou's team facing a 3rd and 10 at the 34 after incompletions on the first 2 downs of this series. Three-man front for Beech. They'll creep up a little extra pressure. Pass caught inside Beech territory. They find John Robinson, number 12. First down, Columbia on a gain of 22.
Yeah, he had way too much time to throw the ball right there. Good offensive line, blocking, shoving people around. Beech actually brought some pressure, but Columbia's offensive line did a good job of picking it up, picking up the stunts and passing things off, and gave him enough time to throw the football.
From the gun, and another pick. That's a drive killer for Columbia Central as Kyle Mortensen, the linebacker, came up with the interception with 35 seconds to play in the half.
Yeah, that's one of those deals as a quarterback. He stared exactly he kind of got tunnel vision. He looked exactly where he was going to throw the football. You can see him right here. He gets locked in on something he does not see. He does not see the defender stuck right in front of that, Mortensen.
I think Robinson was the intended receiver, and you saw 2 Beech Buccaneers between he and the football, and it was Mortensen making the play. 3rd interception of this first half for Zach Tate.
Yeah, and
that's a tough one for the Lions.
Yeah, looking at that right there, if Mortensen doesn't make it, Dwayne Fleming's probably going to get it.
So 1st and 10 from the 47 for Beech. They'll hand it off to to Seitz.
After the Beech Buccaneers, you want to use some timeouts because you got an opportunity right here with pretty good field position to make something happen.
Well, they have all 3 of them remaining. Gain of 9. There's field goal kicker Clayton Reed.
Yeah, he's getting warmed up right now. You never know. I mean, when you get an opportunity like this before the half and you get something gift wrapped to you, and that's exactly what Beech got. They got something gift wrapped to them with the Mortensen interception. And when you get good field position like this, you know what? If you go down here, you don't want to turn over, but you know, if you can get the ball on their side of the football field and you might just throw one up, you got an opportunity to get a touchdown, but you also got an opportunity to get down here and let Mr. Ream kick a field goal.
Place kicker, I guess, would be more correct. He hopes he's a field goal kicker. His first half comes to an end. 27 seconds to play, tied at 21. Early score by Columbia Central had the Lions on the board. Beech answered with a couple to make it 14-7. 2 more for Columbia Central to regain the lead, and then Beech tied it with 1:14 to go in this half. The respective coaches. It'll be a 2nd and 1 at the 44 for the Buccaneers. Zincini almost all the way to the sideline on this near side.
And now they're overmatched to the left side.
Man in motion is Walker. They'll hand it to him. Works it to the outside and got the first down. He got 2. That's about all he needed. Clock stops with 21 seconds to play as they move the chains.
Pretty good play by Tyree Scribner again. I thought he was going to have a much bigger gain than he had. He barely got the first down.
That's a 41.5-yard line for Beech.
Yeah, you're looking at these quarterbacks come out, over to the sideline. Those guys got to be in good shape because, if you think about that, they're jogging back and forth every time. Where, in the NFL and other places, I mean, they use signals, and in the NFL they got the thing in the helmet, which is nice.
Play action. Neal to throw. Has some time. Looks downfield, and he will be brought down from behind. Penalty in. Likely a grounding call.
Well, they're going to call that a grounding and then didn't call the other one a grounding. I'm not sure about that one, Kevin.
Well, in there from behind was Jonathan Braden to bring the hit. Beech's fans booing, I think, because they wanted to, as you said, Kelly, the same call in Columbia earlier.
Yeah, I mean, that was obviously intentional grounding, but, you got to try that. They had a one-man route is all they tried to do right there with Max Zincini. They tried to run him on a little out route, tried to fake the ball and run him on an out route, and he was the only guy. And right now, as a young quarterback, I know he's trying to make a play, but if your guy's not open and you don't have a lane to run the football, you've got to throw that ball away and live to see the next down.
That sends the ball all the way back inside Beech territory at the 45. With 13 seconds to play. Wides each way. Single sent back is Haymer. And off. Zincini to throw. It is complete to Seitz. 37-yard line and has the first down.
To number 24, Seitz.
A little trickery and it works for Beech. They'll have the ball at the 26 and a timeout.
Is there anything Max Zincini cannot do? I mean, he threw the ball like a quarterback right here. Usually with those guys.
He had thrown it a couple of times this season.
That was perfect.
29-yard gain. His 3rd completion in 3 attempts this year. There's Seitz. Pretty good little stop and start move right there to gain some additional yardage. It's at the 26 for Beech with 4 seconds to play in the half. And a 21-21 tie.
Yeah, and see that intentional grounding and the sack that they had, that kind of killed the momentum of the drive. They had had something going, and then that you can, if you don't have that penalty, then you might could use that play on this play right here and get closer. But right now it kind of forces you into, what are you going to do? Are you going to try to kick a field goal, which I'm not sure you can make as a young kicker in high school, or are you going to throw the football to the end zone?
Anthony Crabtree has made his decision in what will be the final play, more than likely, of this first half. 4.9 remaining.
Well, they've got one timeout left, Kevin, but it's hard to do anything in 4.9 seconds. So if you get a catch, you got to immediately go down, surrender yourself, and call timeout. It's just tough.
Yeah, it's hard to get more than one play done here. 5-man front for the Lions of Columbia. Play action, Neal. Pass, end zone, sights, touchdown. As time runs out in the first half, it's a 26-yard completion. Make it Taylor Cash 34 instead of 24. And Beech reclaims the lead with the extra point to come.
Wow, that was a really good play call right there by the coaching staff for Beech. Just ran a little, play action. You're not going to get anything on the play action, but that's obviously where their offense is with the wing T, and just ran a corner route by Taylor Cash.
His man fell down, Tyree Scribner, and Cash was by himself. First half comes to a close with an extra point by Beech to make it 28-21.
Wow, what a first half. Way to end it.
Wow. What a first 24 minutes of football we have seen here in Cookeville between Beech and Columbia Central in this 5A state championship game, the Blue Cross Bowl. The respective teams go off to their locker rooms to take a break. And man, what a first half, Kelly. We've seen a little bit of everything, including 3 touchdown passes by Jarod Neal for Beech and 3 scores from Columbia Central as well. Down to the field and Murphy Fair.
Kevin, thank you very much. Anthony Crabtree, the head coach of the Beech Bucs. Coach, a lot of folks thought Columbia maybe had this game going in, but your guys playing right there with them.
Well, Columbia's got a great football team, and right now they're wearing us out running the football, so we're going to have to try to muster up something at the half and see if we can play a little better defense against the run and get some stops. We've moved the ball and scored some points, but looks like it's a shootout right now.
We've talked a lot about the big-time players that Beech has, that Columbia has, but you've shown that the Bucs have got some big-time kids too.
Well, our guys have made plays, especially the last half of the season, and just stepped up, and it's not just one, it's been 3 or 4, and I think that's what's just keeping us in the game right now.
All right, go talk to him, Coach.
Thanks.
Anthony Crabtree, head coach of the Beech Buccaneers. They scored 50 last week, Kevin, and looks like they're on their road to do the same thing again this week.
Back and forth first half, 28-21 is the score at the intermission with Beech leading Columbia Central. That man Paul Jones and Murphy Fair will be back with our halftime festivities in just a moment.
We invite you to join the movement. A rebellion against all things motionless, where health has a direction and wellness a destination. Proof that a single action can cause a powerful reaction and keep Tennessee moving together toward a healthy future. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee. Get into the movement at mvmtforlife.com.
Beware of big buildings, because big buildings and mega dealers charge mega bucks.
There is a simple and cost-effective choice for the people right down the road in Columbia at Roberts Toyota. Your new Toyota can cost less in Columbia at Roberts Toyota. You do have a choice. Roberts Toyota, for the people.
When you think of mealtime, you think of hunger. Now unthink mealtime with KFC's famous mashed potato bowl. Creamy mashed potatoes, chicken, corn, gravy sprinkled with cheese. Or KFC's chicken pot pie, hot and delicious, made the Colonel's way. Complete mealtime favorites, only at KFC. Unthink value with the KFC 12-piece holiday feast. Get great tasting original recipe mixed with Kentucky grilled chicken, plus a large coleslaw, 2 large mashed potatoes, and 6 biscuits, all for just $19.99. Unthink and taste the unbeatable side of KFC.
Okay, say something smart and funny. Can't be too hard. Are you going somewhere? Are you going somewhere? Of course he's going somewhere. He has his luggage in an airport. Idiot.
Going to London with a Ball State class to study parliamentary law.
Wow.
So where are you headed?
Toledo. Ugh.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. Nope.
International travel study, just part of the Ball State difference.
Congratulations to the Columbia Central Lions for a great season and making it to the Blue Cross Bowl. Brought to you by First Farmers and Merchants Bank.
On the next Friday Night SmackDown, he's arrogant, sinister. He's Drew McIntyre, and with an endorsement from Mr. McMahon, he does what he wants, when he wants. Friday Night SmackDown.
Tonight at 9:30 on My TV 30.
There is a choice for the people at RobertsToyota.com. Shop the latest inventory and get any special price exclusively at RobertsToyota.com. Impeccable customer service, huge selection at low overhead. You do have a choice. RobertsToyota.com, for the people.
Booze it and lose it. A reminder from the Governor's Highway Safety Office, proud sponsors of the halftime report at Tucker Stadium in Cookeville. What a wild first half. Lots of offense. And there's the proof. The Beech Buccaneers with a late touchdown. In fact, on the final play of the first half, leading the Columbia Central Lions 28-21. Paul Jones alongside Murphy Fair for the festivities in this 5A championship game. Murph, we knew there was a potential for a lot of offense heading into this one, and we are not disappointed, are we?
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, last week, Beech scored 50 in a semifinal round game. The week before, I was down at Columbia, and they scored 50 against Anderson County, 50-44 in that one. A lot of exciting offense, and as we talked to Coach Crabtree just before the half, obviously he wants to get his defense in order a little bit more, but I'm sure Coach Vance Blue on the other side's probably preaching the same sermon in the other locker room.
Well, this really has the feel for like maybe whoever has the ball last is going to capture the gold football, doesn't it?
It really does, and it's so exciting in this venue here. Two first-time teams, two mid-state teams. We had East and West Tennessee in the first two games, and easily the noisiest game of the three that we've had thus far today.
Have you seen some of these fans over my shoulder here with no shirts on and the painted letters on their chest? They're interesting.
Have to either be 16 or crazy or a little of both.
Yeah, clearly they didn't get the memo for the hats, right?
No, I'm sure their moms are saying, now I told them, put your muffler on and warm yourself up kind of thing. But, you know, when you're 16, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, that's right. Hopefully they won't go right from Tucker Stadium to the doctor's office on Monday. It's an interesting first half, as we've said. Great action. We hope you've tuned in for this one because you are in for a treat the rest of the way. The Beech Buccaneers leading the Columbia Central Lions 28-21 at the half. We have plenty more during this halftime report. Please stay with us. We're back to Tucker Stadium in Cookeville shortly.
We'll be in Nashville, Sevierville, Knoxville, Decaturville, Whiteville, Shelbyville, Graysville, Brownsville, Memphis, Chattanooga, Brentwood, Bell Buckle, Ducktown, Jamestown, Tri-Cities, Mountain City, Lynchburg, Gatlinburg, Copper Hill, Berry Hill, Bulls Gap, Bellmead. We're gonna get you, don't you see? We'll be everywhere, man. Lawbreakers should beware, man. Y'all won't have a prayer, man. If you're traveling, we'll be there, man. We'll be everywhere.
Law enforcement is on the lookout for impaired drivers. Booze it and lose it.
It's Toyotathon, an event so big it happens only once a year. And right now, for a limited time, get 0% APR financing on many of your favorite models.
I didn't get one. We've got more.
It's not just an event, it's Toyotathon. Hurry to your Toyota dealer today.
$7.99 brown bag special. Sonic's got it, others don't. Drive in today for a Sonic-size deal. Get 2 hearty 100% pure beef Sonic burgers, 2 regular orders of crispy golden brown tater tots, and 2 refreshing soft drinks. All for just $7.99. It's a whole lot of food for one low price. The $7.99 brown bag special at Sonic. And this holiday, give my Sonic cards. They're what to get that's certain everyone. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
Playing on the computer again. We really need to chat about college.
Check it out. Columbia State has friendly instructors that care about their students, and they cost less than a university.
That will help us save.
I can choose from a ton of different academic areas of study, and all my credits will transfer wherever I want.
It says they have 5 campuses right in our area, and my baby can be close to home.
Mom.
Get the tassel at Columbia State.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of
Booze it
Columbia
and
Central
lose it. A reminder from the Governor's Highway Safety Office, proud sponsors of the halftime report at Tucker Stadium in Cookeville. Paul Jones live here at halftime along with 2 men who are very much responsible for getting these games back on television on this very station. Steve Mann, the president and general manager of MyTV30, alongside Bernard Childress, the executive director of the TSSAA. Gentlemen, what a first half. You guys have to be enjoying this as much as we are.
I'll tell you what, Paul, it's such an exciting game. You know, it's 28-21. Beech is supposed to be a running team, but they are throwing for 3 touchdown passes in this first half. It's just been fun to watch. Bernard, what's your thoughts?
Baby, what you want? Baby, what I got?
We've had so far has been like this, and we just look. I'm sure it'll be the same in the second half. You're right. Beech is supposed to be a running team, and they've scored their touchdowns on the passing game. Columbia's out there running the ball up and down the field. Both teams are doing a great job. We may have a game that scores both teams may score over 50 points.
Neither of these teams and any of their players seem nervous at all, which is amazing for such a big stage, isn't it?
It really is. You know, both teams have come out very aggressive, attacking each other's defenses and really creating some very exciting offensive plays.
This is such a big weekend, Bernard, isn't it? For high school athletes, their parents, coaches, the entire communities. They're all turning out here at Tucker Stadium, and you can just feel the electricity, can't you?
This has been a great weekend already, Ed. You're exactly right. We've had tremendous crowds. We're very proud, and it's always a big weekend in any of our state championship events, but one thing that we always want is for those kids that are participating to have lifelong memories, and I think without a doubt that they're going to have that when they leave here tonight.
Well, you had to enter into this weekend, Bernard, a little bit nervous because it's a new venue. You hadn't been to Cookeville. This is a big change from Murfreesboro. How pleased are you with the new venue and everything that has been done for you here on this Tennessee Tech campus?
We couldn't be more pleased. It's been great. It's always nerve-wracking just a little bit when you change venues. However, we knew that they were totally ready. I mean, they've been meeting 2 to 3 times a week.
Beach fans, it's the first Friday night
you
in
can
December.
Feel the electricity here, can't you?
This is high school. But it is always just a little bit nervousness when you go to a new venue. However, we knew the people at Cookeville had done their jobs, and we've been meeting with them for 2 to 3 times a week, and they've done a great job, and they just continue with the enthusiasm that they had when the board voted them in back in June.
And Steve, one last quick thought on just how pleased you are to be a part of this event. You know, after a year hiatus, you're back, our station's back, and doing great things once again. It's what you wanted.
It's really neat to be back, because I think it's such a special weekend, like Bernard talked about, for the high school students, because in a week where the professional athletes are the Tiger Woods saga, you know, Charlie Weiss, the reported $18 million buyout. Here today, there's over 200 seniors that are playing their last football game today. And to be out here and be on this stage with all the cheerleaders and the band and their other students, it's really, truly very special to have them showcase. And as Bernard said, it's about making memories. And I think we clearly are making memories for the schools and for the students of Tennessee.
Steve Mann, Bernard Childress, we appreciate you joining us on the half. And yeah, many great memories coming up in the second half. We're going to see who pulls it out. One of these schools is going to win its first football state championship. Back with more halftime after this.
Now we'll hear quotations from some famous Americans.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Now here's a classic.
Ask not what your country can do for you.
This one needs no introduction.
If you find yourself in a hole, stop digging.
People know that farmers have some of the best advice around, like you don't have to be a farmer to save money with Farm Bureau Insurance. Farm Bureau Insurance. Tennessee turns to us.
Even though my fine needlework still waves patriotically today, I'd have to say my proudest moment was October 10th, 2005.
Madeline.
Who's Betsy Ross?
You got it. Jeopardy! Weeknights at 6 on My TV 30.
Community First Bank and Trust congratulates Columbia Central High School for competing for the state title. Community First Bank and Trust is Columbia's hometown bank and has been serving Columbia and Murray County for over 10 years. Go Lions!
Beth and John are at Ford's year-end sales event trying to decide whether to buy or lease a Ford Fusion. It's only the most fuel-efficient midsize sedan in America. And they're loving the sync system, too. Lets them play music, make calls, read text messages. Anyway, they're about to find out how much money they're going to save. Let's watch. I'm guessing a lot.
Lease a Ford Fusion for $226 a month or get 0% plus $1,000 bonus cash during the Ford year-end sales event and drive one.
Hey, it's holidays.
This week on Titans All Access, a special Wired for Sound. It's Jeff Fisher. We continue our one-on-one conversation with center Kevin Mawai, and we'll preview matchup number 2 between the Titans and the Colts. We've got all that and more this week on Titans All Access.
U1 Sports, George Plaster and Paul Jones cover all your favorite regional athletes on the State Auto Sports Zone, Sunday at 10:30 on My TV 30.
Booze it and lose it. A reminder from the Governor's Highway Safety Office, proud sponsors of this halftime report from Tucker Stadium in Cookeville. Paul Jones once again with you for the remainder of this halftime segment of the 5A championship game. Columbia Central and Beech playing a fantastic game. The Beech Buccaneers with a late touchdown in the first half lead it 28-21. We have a lot of highlights to get to, so let's not waste any time. Roll these highlights as we see how things unfolded in this game. Columbia in purple gets going first. Zach Tate firing to Bryant Ballou. Big game for the Lions. They are in business. That sets up Clayton Ream. He goes up the middle, busts in for the touchdown. 7-0 Columbia at that point. Beech answers quickly. Jarod Neal, the screen pass to Ethan Walker. Anybody out there for Columbia? Doesn't look like it. He's in for the touchdown to even the game at 7 apiece. Next Lions possession. Dwayne Fleming stepping in front of that pass right there. Fleming returns it inside the Columbia 5-yard line. That leads to this. Neal, the QB sneak. The Bucs have their first lead. They lead it 14-7. Lions, though, not deterred. Tate looking and finding Ballou again. These two were a good combo in the first half. We're tied at 14. Then it's Tredarius Goff, putting Columbia back in front with a 3-yard touchdown right there. And then, as if there's not enough offense, one more touchdown. Max Zincini on the receiving end of that. Touchdown right there, making it 21-21. Actually, that's 28-21 right there. Okay, that's where we stand, 28-21. Beech leading at the half. And when you look at some of the key statistics, turnovers, a big factor. Columbia Central with 3, Beech none. And that could be a huge factor in the end because the Beech Buccaneers got 14 points off those turnovers. So 28-21 is the score. We can't wait for the second half. 24 minutes of football. One of these schools will win its first football state title. Stay with us. We're back to Cookeville in a moment.
We invite you to join the movement. A rebellion against all things motionless, where health has a direction and wellness a destination. Proof that a single action can cause a powerful reaction and keep Tennessee moving together toward a healthy future. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee. Get into the movement at mvmtforlife.com.
Hey Nashville, looking for a used car or truck? Low payments? 3 words.
Dun'll do it.
Dunn Pontiac Buick GMC is a great place for new and the best place for used. Dunn now dominates the used car demand in Nashville.
Dun'll do it.
400 cars on the lot now.
Dun'll do it.
No credit or bad credit.
Dun'll do it.
The Dunn used car lot now open, now ready. Bring your trade, any trade. Dunn has trucks, SUVs, any make, any model. Dun'll do it. The Dunn used car lot where most cars are under $98.88, like these. It's a done deal on used cars at Dunn Pontiac Buick GMC, where
Dun'll do it.
$7.99 brown bag special. Sonic's got it, others don't. Drive in today for a Sonic size deal. Get 2 hearty 100% pure beef Sonic burgers, 2 regular orders of crispy golden brown tater tots, and 2 refreshing soft drinks. All for just $7.99. It's a whole lot of food for one low price. The $7.99 brown bag special at Sonic. And this holiday, give my Sonic cards. They're what to get that's certain everyone. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
You're in a special place, the only place it's available. This is Sundrop Country. Other states just don't get it, but you do. Drink it up. They don't know what they're missing. Here the Sundrop flows freely and you can have all you want. All the flavor, all the refreshment. It's all ours and they can't have it. The distinctive citrus taste can only be found in one place. You're in it. Sundrop Country. Available everywhere that matters.
On the next Friday Night SmackDown, he's arrogant, sinister. He's Drew McIntyre, and with an endorsement from Mr. McMahon, he does what he wants, when he wants. Friday Night SmackDown.
Tonight at 9:30 on MyTV30. Join MyTV30 Sports for the TSSAA Blue Cross Bowl Class 2A Championship. Trotsdale County, Boyd Buchanan, live from Cookeville on MyTV30.
Just about ready for the start of the third quarter. The 5A state championship game, the Blue Cross Bowl here in Cookeville, Tennessee. We head down to the sidelines before we begin this third quarter, and the third member of our crew, Murphy Fair. Murph.
Thanks a lot. We've got Coach Vance Blue with the Columbia Lions here. Coach, what did you tell you kids at halftime? This is kind of shades of that game with Anderson County a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it is. We just tried to go in, regroup a little bit. Our defense got some stops for us there in the first half, and we just kind of turned the ball over, got a little careless there. But we felt like we made our plays, too. So we just try to get refocused and get back after it out here and see if we can win us a ball game here.
Both teams have got to feel pretty good about their offensive units. It's just the defensive thing that you're probably working on. That's what Anthony told us.
Yeah, both sides moved the ball well. We kind of felt like we didn't do very well in the special teams, and then the turnovers is a big thing we want to improve on this half.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time. Coach Vance Blue with the Columbia Lions. He said he's calm on the outside, not necessarily on the inside, Kevin.
Coach Blue might want to find his hat for the second half. Maybe he could borrow that one that Paul Jones had down there on the sideline.
Yeah, Paul needs to do something with that one.
He needs a feather, maybe. Woo. Just kidding, Paul. Second half underway. Beech leading 28-21. Another short kick on the ground with Beech able to cover it up before any more trouble ensues.
And there was some indecisiveness right there between those two guys.
Ethan Walker able to get on top of the football and save it for Beech, and they will get it at the 26-27 yard line to start this third quarter. 28-21. Couple touchdowns in the last minute 14 of play for the Buccaneers. Push them in front at the intermission. There's Jarod Neal's numbers for the first half. 3 touchdowns, 111 yards passing. His counterpart, Zach Tate, unfortunately for him, 3 interceptions. Pass near side, complete to Walker. Made the first man miss and will get out of bounds at the 32.
And 3 TDs, that's huge. Played really good in the first half and didn't turn the ball over. When you look on the other sideline at Zach Tate, I know he wished he would have had some of those throws back, but he had 3, which is, that really kept, Beech into the football game and gave them some, it gave them a touchdown, and it gave them one there towards the end of the half that kind of get the momentum for Beech going into half.
Boy, and you think about that trick play that Beech ran was Zincini throwing the pass. And,
right.
That was a key play to set up that last score as time ran out.
It really was. And you know what? They did that after a penalty. So just think if they didn't have the penalty, could have even have been closer. But, it didn't matter. They got a touchdown.
Walker trying to find the outside. Gets the first down. Makes a couple guys miss down the sidelines and out of bounds in midfield.
Still running. Nobody got him down. He just went out of bounds.
19-yard gain for Ethan Walker.
Got to tackle if you're Columbia. You got to put your hands on him and, go back to the fundamentals. You got to drive and use your legs and wrap up. And
that's kind of been an issue for both teams tonight. We've seen some guys maybe stand and look a little bit when they needed to come up and make a play. And, you're right. You got to wrap them up when you have the opportunity.
Yeah, don't rely on somebody else to do it. You go make the play.
They give you that wing T look part of the time and fool us part of the time as well. Side's got the ball and takes it left side for a gain of 5 or 6 on the first down carry.
And that's been a pretty good play for Beech tonight. They've been able to get some pretty substantial yardage on just a sweep from Jonathan Seitz.
The senior plays flanker on offense. 81 rushes for 715 yards and 6 touchdowns entering tonight's game. Also scored 5 touchdowns receiving on the year with 267 yards through the air. A score last week in their semifinal win against Mitchell. 7-point lead for the Bucs. Third quarter early on here. Walker again. We'll have another first down for the Bucs. Pickup of 7
moves the chains again for Beech High School.
Well, Drake Fleming, we talk about tackling, he had him. It's just a motion, man. They use Jonathan Sykes too, but you got to make that tackle right there if you're Drake Fleming. You got to get him down.
Ball at the 38. Just over a minute played, third quarter. Columbia Central needing a big stop. Beech on the march on its first possession of the second half. Sights the man in motion. They'll give it to Haymer. Left side carry, good hole. Be short of a first down as he got it to the 27, 28-yard line on a pickup of 9.
And they brought that guy into motion again and faked the handoff. It was kind of it wasn't a well-run play because he was supposed to fake it to him and hand to the guy, but Jonathan Sykes went, a little early. But you see the Columbia defense, they ran it 2 plays in a row, and there were 2 guys, and I know Drake Fleming was one of them that was looking for the guy to have the ball, and they gave it to Travis Haymer right up the middle, and there were guys looking to the other sideline, thought Jonathan Sykes had the football, and Travis Haymer came up the middle with the ball.
You saw the terrific linebacker Tredarius Goff. He had 7 tackles in the first half. On the ground, Beech looking for the necessary yardage for a first down. Needed to get it to the 28. And they'll have enough, it looks like, as Sykes carried it.
I'm glad all these kids are young. I said this earlier in the year when we were doing our Thursday night games, but you look at Jonathan Sykes, you look at Travis Haymer, you look at all the Max Zincini, all those guys play both ways, and you got to be in really good physical condition to be able to carry the ball like Jonathan Sykes does or Travis Haymer does, or do what Max Zincini does, and then go on the defense and do the same thing. So those guys are very important, very crucial to this Beech Buccaneer
and also
football
kind of
team.
flip your way of thinking going from offense to defense. Short drop, they put it in the air again. Zincini's direction, contact, play broken up, penalty marker flew in. I think if he caught it, it may have been an OPI right there.
Yeah, you know what? I think you're right. It looks like Zincini tried to use separation to get away from. No, they're going to call it on. They're going to call it on Cisco.
There was a contact, Zincini and Cisco. I thought the push initially might have been on Zincini.
Well, I did too. I was looking. It looked like he extended his hand, but right there it looked like maybe they were right. Maybe Cisco kind of grabbed him. And you know what? They call right on that play because they've been, with what happened to them in the first half, they've been kind of
on the defense. First down, half the distance to the goal.
They've been covering Max Zincini, and right there, Coach Crabtree and those guys, I don't know if it was an audible or what, but they had Cisco out there man-to-man on Max Zincini, and they went after it again.
There's Anthony Crabtree, 5th year as Beech coach, trying to win the first state championship for that school. Same for Columbia. Neither of these teams ever played in the title game. 7th play of this drive coming up right here. 1st and 10 at the 13 after the penalty. Haymer looking for room, right side, not going to find it. Tackle by Fleming, no gain on the play. Number 34, the senior linebacker, Drake Fleming.
And now we talked about Beech earlier in the game, but Columbia Central right now, they got to stand up to this. Pretty good job. And Tredarius Goff right there, he had 2 guys come, held his ground, and was really probably the main reason that they made that play behind the line of scrimmage.
Rodney Lockridge coming over to help shut down the play as well for Columbia. They fake. Left side. Here comes Ethan Walker. Big stick at the end of that play. There was Goff as well as Landwehr at the end of it. Landwehr.
Pushed out by number 30.
3-yard pickup.
Yeah, watch Cole Neighbors right here trying to pull out. He actually got Goff a little bit, but he didn't get him down. And that was another. He brought the thunder on that one.
He did. Goff hammers him at the end of the play. 3rd and 7. Football at the 10. 8:47 to play, third quarter. Beech trying to add to a 1-touchdown lead. They are 1 of 5 on 3rd down tonight. Single setback is Haymer. They send Walker in motion. The throw is Neal.
Oh, what a catch.
Got it for the first down. Zincini inside the 1 for Beech.
What a catch by Max Zincini, and what a throw by Jarod Neal. He had guys after him. It was just a simple naked play. Tried to get the edge block. They got around it. And wow, what a throw under that kind of duress. He had Edward Plant just breathing down his neck.
A look from behind. Neal.
Man.
Wow, right on the money.
And caught that with his hands. He didn't let that get to his body. If he'd let it got to his body, the DB might have snatched it away from him and knocked it down. But
boy,
he went out and grabbed it.
Had his toes looked like on the purple in the end zone. First and goal from the 1. Haymer, left side, a 1-yard touchdown run gives Beech a 2-touchdown lead.
Well, and that's what you wanted to do with your Beech. You wanted to come out and add to what you did at the end of the first half. I mean, that was huge momentum. That's 21 unanswered points by Beech. It's kind of been that kind of a game. You know, they started out 14-7, and then Columbia went on a 14-0 run, and then now Beech has gone on a 21-0 unanswered point run. So, you know, Columbia right now has got to come back offensively and do something.
Clayton Ream, another extra point attempt. This one was blocked. You saw Shaquille Mason, number 54, back there for Columbia Central, and they won't get the extra point, but still a 34-21 lead for Beech High School after that score. With 8:36 to play in the third quarter, Columbia gets the football next.
I need a complete workup stat and call him.
Sir, we have an urgent phone call.
Pressure's dropping.
This is Charlie. No, that's the aorta. Don't cut that.
People know that farmers have some of the best advice around, like you don't have to be a farmer to save money with Farm Bureau Insurance. Farm Bureau Insurance. Tennessee turns to us.
Community First Bank and Trust congratulates Columbia Central High School for competing for the state title. Community First Bank and Trust is Columbia's hometown bank and has been serving Columbia and Murray County for over 10 years. Go Lions!
When you think of mealtime, you think of hunger. Now unthink mealtime with KFC's famous mashed potato bowl. Creamy mashed potatoes, chicken, corn, gravy sprinkled with cheese. Or KFC's chicken pot pie, hot and delicious, made the Colonel's way. Complete mealtime favorites, only at KFC. Unthink value with the KFC 12-piece holiday feast. Get great tasting original recipe mixed with Kentucky grilled chicken, plus a large coleslaw, 2 large mashed potatoes, and 6 biscuits, all for just $19.99. Unthink and taste the unbeatable side of KFC.
It's Toyotathon, an event so big it happens only once a year. And right now, for a limited time, get 0% APR financing on many of your favorite models.
I didn't get one. We've got more.
It's not just an event, it's Toyotathon. Hurry to your Toyota dealer today.
Congratulations to the Columbia Central Lions for a great season and making it to the Blue Cross Bowl. Brought to you by First Farmers and Merchants Bank.
Catch Jeopardy! Weeknights at 6 on MyTV30.
2 touchdowns to close out the first half and 1 to start the third quarter for Beech. Has the Buccaneers in front 34-21 over Columbia Central in this 5A state championship game here in Cookeville. Kevin Ingram, Kelly Holcomb, Murphy Fair, our whole crew. And Columbia will get it now. Another short kick fielded at the 30 on the run. They'll blow the whistle at the 35-yard line after a return of 6. That was Tyree Scribner again, number 23. We've seen him a couple of times on kick returns tonight. Well, this is a crucial series right here for the Lions of Columbia.
It really is, because the last 3 possessions, they've had a interception, a punt, and an interception. So, you know, we talk about the ebbs and flows of the game. You look at Beech. Beech has scored the last 3 times they've had the football. Scored right before the halftime, which was a huge downer, I'm sure, to Columbia going into the half. And they've got to do something right here. They can. I mean, they can score quickly. They can throw the football, and they get it to Bryant Ballou. They can make up ground fast.
Funny how the momentum of a game can change. This is Moore. He is stacked up. Probably no gain on that play.
Looks like he lost a yard.
Yeah, if anything, maybe a loss of 1. Yeah, it was Jeffrey Hunter, number 27, the nose guard for Beech, making the play.
And I'm sure Beech, I'm sure the coaches went in and let the defensive guys have it. I know a lot of them play offense too, but you know, I'm sure they got a awakening.
So does the defensive coordinator yell at the same guys that the offensive coordinator praises?
You got to, yeah. You got to be able to do your job.
Tate complete. This is Scribner. He might be on his way to the end zone. Tyree Scribner. That'll help. 66 yards. A touchdown for Columbia Central with 7:38 to play in the third.
Yeah, just like I said, they can score quick. They've got guys that can make plays. They got a quarterback. I mean, you know, he's thrown 3 interceptions in the first half, but you know, that's what brought him here. They've got a pretty balanced attack. Coach Ballou's not going to give up on him, and you know, it all starts with protection right there. And you see Moore step up and hit the linebacker that was coming, and then Scribner
made a couple guys miss, including Haley right
gone.
there. Yep. See ya. Oh, and a blocked extra point. As Beech got a piece of that one. Maybe more than a piece of that extra point attempt, and that keeps it 34-27. So each team has scored here in the third, and each has blocked a point after.
Wow. It was Scribner. He was wide open. Just ran an in route right there, and they throw a lot of play action. You know that coming in. That was a really good play by him, and you know, poor tackling right there.
And let's take a look at this extra point attempt. Haley looked like was the guy who got it. There he is. Flying in to make the play on the kick by Chris Harris. There's Tyree Scribner. First touchdown since back in the first period, or make it early on in the second quarter for Columbia Central, and 34-27 is the count as we head to the sidelines. And Murphy Fair. Murphy.
Kevin, thanks again. Another one of the people and another one of the companies making all of this possible this weekend. Sonny Scoggins, the CEO of Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee. Sonny, first of all, thank you for being a part of it. But this is not your first rodeo with TSSAA, is it?
No, we began with TSSAA in 2006, sponsoring the basketball. And since that time, we've expanded that to almost all the sports in TSSAA.
When you think Farm Bureau, you used to think farmers, and obviously that's not the case anymore. But you think small communities, and that is the case. And you guys are all over the state in all 95 counties, and it's a perfect match to be involved in high school athletics.
Absolutely. We have more agents in more communities than any other of our competitors in Tennessee. And we like to believe we're local wherever you are.
And the fact that Columbia is winning this game, and that's what your home office is. I mean, Columbia's in this game, and that's your home office headquarters. That doesn't hurt anything either, does it?
It's kind of a surprise bonus for us this year that our local high school made it there at Columbia Central, and the crowd's been great. The hospitality of the local folks here in Cookeville has just been second to none. This has been a first-class event.
Well, it's first class, and that makes you think of Farm Bureau, too. Sonny, thank you for your time and your commitment to high school sports. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Thank you.
Back upstairs, guys.
I appreciate all the folks who helped make this possible. The Blue Cross Bowl and our broadcast of these state championship games. We've had 3 of them today. A victory by Union City on a field goal at the end, and then Alcoa with a shutout in the second game.
Illegal block on the return team. First down.
Zingini finally got a chance to run one back for Beech, but negated by an illegal block, and the Buccaneers will set up on the 17-yard line, leading 34-27. A score for each side in this third period. The penalty numbers, you see them on your screen. Near side run. Walker trying to get away. Some big contact applied as he's tackled at the 20 after a short gain.
Wow, what a block by number 51, Wesley Aiello, right there. I don't know who he hit, but he came around pulling on somebody, and just, this is an unbelievable play by a guard. Watch him pull right here.
Jarod Cisco is just slightly outweighed by Aiello.
That's what I was about to say. I didn't know who it was, but
Jeff, by about 65 pounds.
It was poor Jarod Cisco. I was hoping that's who it was not, but it was.
Yeah, he's 5'9", 151. Aiello 6 feet and 215. Carry for Haymer. A stop made by that man, Ethan Myers. 34-27 the count with 6:40 to go in the third.
Good thing about Jarod Cisco, though, he got right up, you know, and he was one of the assists on that tackle right there. So hey, he's a tough kid, obviously, because he got hammered on the play before.
Just before that Columbia touchdown, few minutes back. I was about to say it's amazing how the momentum can change in these games, and right on cue, Columbia scored. They looked like they were going to take control in the first half, but Beech put together a series of unanswered scores. Slipping away as Seitz carries a couple of defenders and got the first down at the 32.
And you know what, with that being said, I was about to say that was a huge third down, and they had Jonathan Seitz behind the line of scrimmage, but we talked about tackling, and that's one of the fundamental things of this sport, football. You've got to make the tackle. They have him in the backfield.
And a little counter play.
Rodney Lockridge had him in the backfield, and you've got to make the tackle, because right there your offense has obviously got some momentum and they feel good about what they were doing. They got a touchdown, and then if you could get the ball back to them, it would have helped.
Total yards in favor of Beech by a slight margin. We'll give to Walker this time. 8 yards on that first down carry a moment ago, and Ethan Walker for a couple.
Now, Kev, I know you said something about the Alcoa Milan game. Is that 11 state titles for Alcoa?
It is something like that. It's
crazy,
unbelievable.
And then we're doing the. Of course, you've got to do some Vanderbilt stuff tomorrow, but I'm coming back for the 6A game with Maryville, and they're going after their 8th, I think, 8th title since 1998, which is pretty unbelievable. So we've got some good teams here.
Powerhouse teams.
Yeah.
2nd and 7, 35-yard line. These two teams in it for the first time. Here comes Walker again to the near side. Be driven out just past the 35.
Out of bounds by number 86, Ethan Myers.
Gain of a couple.
Wesley Aiello's going to have to go in the cold tub. They've had him pulling a bunch tonight. He was out again. They pulled him on the exact same play, and he was out here leading on the play.
Well, the cold tub might feel warm after being out here for 3 hours.
It is a little chilly.
I mean, we're freezing to death up here in this box, with the
I'm good.
Heater on. I'm great. 5 minutes to play in the third. 3 of 7 on third down for Beech tonight. 3rd and 5 here. Walker one more time. Not going to get there. Big play for Columbia Central. Shaquille Mason, number 54. Loss of a couple, and that's going to bring up 4th down for Beech.
That was a good play by him, because he was on the back side of the play, and he actually ran the play down. So that's what they needed to do. Watch this. Nobody gets him.
Just got around there from behind to snuff things out for the Buccaneers, who will be forced to punt. Zincini, the punter. Pretty good kick. Back to the 25. They lost it. Beech trying to recover, but Columbia Central, it looks like, will be able to hang on. Beech had a golden opportunity to cover that football, but couldn't do it.
Wow. Zincini, I mean, is there anything? I mean, the guy can throw the ball, he can catch the ball, he returns kicks, he punts. Unbelievable what all that kid can do.
Get a look.
That could have been a huge, huge play right there.
That was Landwehr, number 2. And able to recover was Mosley, as well as John Harvey for Columbia. So now that Coach Ballou is breathing easier again over the Columbia sideline, they can start this series. 1st and 10, pushed all the way back at their own 9-yard line with 4:17 to go in the third, and they're down a touchdown. Taking a lot of time. Goes to Moore, penalty marker.
Can't do that with a tight end. With your tight end, has got to be set for at least a second. And right when he put his hand on the ground, they snapped the ball. So that's going to be a legal procedure.
There you go. Illegal shift.
When somebody goes and he puts his hand on the ground, and then what we used to call it trade, when a tight end trades on the other side, you've got to give him at least a second when he gets down. He's got to be settled. He was not, and that's
fouls on the play. Illegal formation. On the offense, that penalty's declined. Illegal motion. On the offense, that penalty's accepted. Replay 1st down.
You just can't have those kind of, and that's actually, you gotta, you gotta call it like it is. When he comes over on the line of scrimmage and he gets off, he trades to the other once he puts his hand down, he's got to be there for a second so he snaps the ball.
It's pretty close when you watch it in slow motion.
Yeah, when you watch it in slow motion, but that's directly related to the quarterback. You got to give him time.
And Kyle Mortensen getting back there to make the stop on Jarod Moore, a loss of 2. As we go under 4 minutes to play here in the third. Mortensen's had a big year. Over 70 tackles after a couple of them tonight. The sophomore linebacker.
That was a good play on his part. He had a guard blocking him. Kind of shed the block and got off on it, made the tackle.
2nd and 17 for Columbia Central. The Lions, maybe their worst field position of this entire game, all the way back on the 3-yard line. Out of his own end zone, Tate. Pass complete. That's going to help. All the way down inside Beech territory, Eric Ballou.
Number 7, Eric Ballou.
That's the other Ballou brother.
57 yards on that reception and run. So from the 3 across midfield, and they'll spot it at the 40-yard line, and the play will allow Columbia Central to continue the drive.
That was a good call right there, Kevin, by the Columbia coaching staff. They had man-to-man, bump and run on the outside, and Eric Ballou just ran right by Dwayne Fleming, and that was a great throw by Zach Tate. And you talk about starting field position in the first half. Beech started at the 50-yard line. Columbia Central from their own 30, so that's a huge advantage.
High formation, run play. Moore picks his way through on the right side, stopped by Hunter. Making Alex Gomer 37 instead of 27. Actually, I think they both may have been in on that stop. 3 minutes to go in the third. Columbia Central down a score. You see it there at the top of your screen. 34-27, and Tate's numbers on the night. Couple TDs, 3 picks as well.
Hey, that's 6 completions for 224 yards, Kevin. That's a lot. I mean, that's over 30 yards of completion. That's, I think Bryant Ballou came in here with averaging a little over 22 yards of completion. So that's huge, and they're going to go back to him again.
Play action. And going in the direction of Eric Ballou, incomplete.
Threw it to the other Ballou.
2 brothers, Eric and Bryant Ballou. Eric's a sophomore, Bryant is a senior, and their father, of course, Vance Ballou, the head coach.
A lot of Ballous on the field. Yeah, it looked like they were trying to run a post route with Bryant, but Beech did a pretty good job of covering that one. They had, Max Cincini's on him, so Max Cincini's a pretty good athlete. He was with him step for step.
3rd and 8 for Columbia. They'll send a pair of wideouts both ways as they spread things out and work out of the shotgun. Zach Tate, the quarterback.
And this is where Beech need to get some pressure on him, because if he sits back there, and there it is.
Short pass. Scribner turns it into a big gain. 20, 15, keeps his feet, wrestled down at the 10. 28 yards on that play to Tyree Scribner, who's already scored a touchdown in this half.
I was going to say Beech need to get some pressure on Zach Tate. And I think the 2 linebackers, I think they ran into each other. No, they just misread the play. Looked like Kyle Mortensen was looking at the quarterback, and the receiver ran right in front of him. He kind of really lost where he was on the football field.
Boy, Scribner's had an outstanding second half. Our Farm Bureau Insurance red zone with the ball at the 11 for Columbia Central, looking to tie this game with 2 minutes to play in the third. Handoff, Goff stopped short of the goal line, but busted it inside the 5 on a gain of 7.
Yeah, that was a touchdown saving tackle by Jonathan Seitz. I thought Goff was going to go in. Boy, over 220 pounds. That when he gets going downhill.
Yeah, he is just an outstanding player on both sides of the ball. Tredarius Goff, the junior. 2nd and 4, ball at the 5. They can get a first down without scoring a touchdown. Direct snap, Goff from the Wildcat. Bounces off a couple. Did he get there? I don't think so. Might have got the first down, but not the TD. Gain of 4.
Wow. And that shows you how big he is right there. Wesley Aiello, I think, was the guy that was in the hole. They got in the Wildcat formation. They ran the same play that he scored on earlier, and he just ran over. I believe that was Wesley Aiello.
1st and goal Ball inside the 1-yard line. A touchdown, an extra point. Ties it here for Columbia Central. The sneak and the score. A point away from a tie game once again. Back-to-back touchdowns for Columbia Central. That one from Zach Tate, his second rushing TD of the night. 34-33 with the extra point to come.
Now let's see if somebody can get, see if the offensive line on the field goal protection team can get these guys blocked.
Here's Harris for the extra point.
Oh, he missed it.
And he missed it indeed. That's a herder right there for Columbia Central. A chance to tie the game. Still a quarter plus to go here, but 34-33.
That right there, Kevin, was a direct correlation of what happened to him the last time he kicked an extra point. He got it blocked, and it looked like he was going to get it blocked. The guy came off the edge right there, and he tried to hurry. And when you hurry, you're going to mess yourself up, and that's exactly what he did. He hurried his kick. He tried to get it before the guy got there, and he missed the extra point, which could be huge in a game like this.
The score is 34-33. Columbia Central wishes it was 39, but that's not the case. 56 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Let's take a look at this with Eric Ballou, the holder. Snap was wide.
Oh, yeah, you know what? That's exactly what happened. Chris Harris, the kicker, he didn't follow through with his leg.
He was kind of you talk about a short arm. That was kind of
that was a short leg. You're right. That's exactly what he did. That's directly related to what happened to him the last time he had the extra point.
8 plays, 91 yards, and 321 the scoring drive.
He kind of short-legged the football and missed it.
So a 1-point game. And now it's Beech one more time. Zincini looks for room on the outside, shut down at the 23. Return of 10 for Max Zincini. With 50 seconds to play here in the third.
Well, now let's see if Beech can come back and answer.
It has been an action-packed game tonight. Big momentum swings.
Really has.
Fed each team score multiple unanswered touchdowns at a couple different points in this game. First and 10, 23-yard line for Beech High School. Final minute of the third. Walker gets it, spins, ball came loose at the end of the play. Beech able to hang on.
On the run, number 22.
Yeah, that's a couple of times. Drake Fleming, he had him in the backfield again and didn't wrap up.
He'll pick up 4 on the carry by Walker. Clock down to 26 seconds now here in the third.
You know what's good about tonight, Kevin?
It's that
we've got the play clock.
And that helps.
Right there, Drake Fleming takes on Travis Haymer, and then, you know, he was there to make the play, and you got to make the play.
And it looks like
they're going to let the quarter run out, I believe.
They'll let it roll all the way to the end. 1 quarter of football to play in Cookeville with a 5A state championship hanging in the balance. Beech 34, Columbia Central 33. As we head to the fourth, the Blue Cross Bowl will be right back.
We invite you to join the movement. A rebellion against all things motionless, where health has a direction and wellness a destination. Proof that a single action can cause a powerful reaction and keep Tennessee moving together toward a healthy future. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee. Get into the movement at mvmtforlife.com.
If you're driving under the influence in Tennessee, you're gonna get nailed. Booze it, and lose it.
Christmas sale at Family Leisure. Relax and unwind in a new spa, $13.99. Saunas, $12.99. Wicker. Tanning beds, $14.99. Play jumps, 1 year free financing.
From our family to your family.
Merry Christmas. Okay, say something smart and funny. Can't be too hard. Are you going somewhere? Are you going somewhere? Of course he's going somewhere. He has his luggage in an airport. Idiot.
Going to London with a Ball State class to study parliamentary law.
Wow. Wow.
So where are you headed?
Toledo. Ugh.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. Nope.
International travel study, just part of the Ball State difference.
Man up. I'm about to get on you about your man training.
He doesn't pay his child support.
Why don't you stop being a mama's boy and grow up? You're supposed to be a man, fool.
Judge Joe Brown. Weekdays at 4 on My TV 30.
1 point game with 12 minutes to play. Beech leading Columbia Central here in Cookeville. Look at part of this terrific crowd on hand for this 5A state final. Last game of 3 today, 3 more to come tomorrow. You can see all the action. Beech to start the 4th. A misdirection as they give the ball to Seitz. Columbia Central with good D.
Darius Goff again, man. I tell you what, he's a good football player. He attacks the football when he's a defender.
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear about some of the college looks that he's getting. You got to think he'll have an opportunity to move on and play on Saturday.
Yeah, I would certainly think so. I mean, they tried a misdirection play. They brought 2 guys and swapped them in the backfield on the play, and he was not fooled, and he hit the guy right in the hole.
No gain, 3rd and 6. To throw is Neal. Pressure comes, drops it off, Cincini. First down, all the way out near midfield. What a player that guy is. Max Cincini, a gain of 22.
Wow, that was another good play call. I really like what the offensive coordinator for Beech is doing. He made it look like they were going to throw like a corner flat route over to the side, and then they brought a wide receiver screen back to the backside with Max Cincini. That was a really good, well-designed play.
I love that middle screen into pressure.
Oh, yeah.
Head down to the sidelines and visit with Murphy Fair one more time. Murphy.
All right, Kevin, thanks a lot. Paula Ballou, the head coach at Columbia Central, his wife and the mother of a couple of players on the team with us on the sideline. Paula, thanks for your time. I know it's a nervous moment or nervous evening at the Blue House, to say the least.
Yes, and I think I'm more nervous than they are. They can stay pretty calm, but they're a lot like their daddy.
We taped a show the other day, and Vance said you all have a great blend of football time but family time at the dinner table, and I think that's so important.
Yes, they are really good boys, and they do love to eat, so as long as we're eating, we're at the table.
Okay. Thanks a lot for your time, Paula. Best of luck in this last few minutes.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Back upstairs, guys.
Hate to be paying that food bill.
Yeah, if they eat a bunch.
Couple football players in the house, and they are good football players, too. Here's another carry for Walker, picking his way through traffic, still on his feet. First down for Beech. Goff, number 30, in there.
Wow.
Also, you see Chance Luna, the defensive tackle, helping out in the play on a gain of 16.
Yeah, but that was a huge play. And you look at number 64, Cole Neighbors, and number 75, Christian Martinez, both down there leading the way for their running back. And he just kept his feet moving. Looked like Ethan Walker was going to be stopped way back, and he just kept his feet moving. He followed those big fellas and got a pretty substantial amount of yardage.
1st and 10, 35-yard line for Beech. They lead by a point with under 10 minutes to play. State final. A drop, a pass that's incomplete. And here comes the flag as Taylor Cash wanted the interference call and might have gotten it.
Yeah, he's going to get it. That was more blatant than the one that Gerald Cisco had earlier in the football game. Grabbed his shirt.
There it is. It'll be a first down for Beech.
And that was a really good job of Jarod Neal getting rid of the football. And you can see right here, yeah, he grabbed his arm. You just can't do that.
Can't wrap him up.
Pass interference on the defense. Automatic first down.
So move to the chains and spot the football at the 20-yard line with 9:44 to go, and Beech leading by 1, 34-33. Blocked extra points have been part of the story of this second half. In what has been a back-and-forth game tonight here in Cookeville. Single set back is Haymer. Play action. Neal passes. Was it caught? Oh, yeah. Touchdown. Great catch. Jonathan Sides indeed. Number 24 hauls it in. A 20-yard reception for a score, and that makes it 40-33 Beech.
Yeah, that was Jarod Neal. He knew he had a man-to-man out on the outside. Those guys were playing bump and run. He just threw it up, and Jonathan Sides goes up over the cornerback and makes a great catch over the DB. He just threw that ball up.
Kind of threw it off his back foot.
Yeah, he really did. And if you're Wesley Cheatham, right there, you've got to turn back for the football. He never looked.
It's been adventures and extra points in the second half, but no trouble here for Clayton Ream. That's a big one. Makes it 41-33, an 8-point game. Beech in front with 9:36 to play. The 5A championship game returns in just a moment. Stay with us.
Shelbyville, Graysville, Brownsville, Memphis, Chattanooga, Brentwood, Bell, Buckle, Ducktown, Jamestown, Tri-Cities, Mountain City, Lynchburg, Gatlinburg, Copper Hill, Berry Hill, Bulls Gap, Bellmead, we're gonna get you, don't you see? We'll be everywhere, man. Lawbreakers should beware, man. Y'all won't have a prayer, man. If you're traveling, we'll be there, man. We'll be everywhere.
Law enforcement is on the lookout for impaired drivers. Booze it and lose it.
Do you know where I can find
drill bits? L7.
Thank you.
Hey, aren't you Charlie?
Charlie's here?
Charlie?
Charlie?
People know that farmers have some of the best advice around, like you don't have to be a farmer to save money with Farm Bureau Insurance. Farm Bureau Insurance. Tennessee turns to us.
Charlie, pick up on line 1.
This happens a lot.
Getting ready for Christmas shopping? Here at Cartronics, we have a Christmas list guaranteed to put a smile on anyone's face. Check out these Christmas list specials. Remote start was $159, now only $79. Portable navigation was $199, now only $99. In-car TV starting at $159. In-dash TV with DVD and iPod control was $699, now only $299. In-dash double den TV with DVD and navigation was $999, now only $689. Hurry to Cartronics to complete your Christmas shopping, because when they're gone, they're gone.
Everything to customize your car.
It's Toyotathon, an event so big it happens only once a year. And right now, for a limited time, get 0% APR financing on many of your favorite models.
I didn't get one. We've got more.
It's not just an event, it's Toyotathon. Hurry to your Toyota dealer today.
Well, behind the terrific quarterbacking of Jarod Neal, it is Beech in front of Columbia Central, 41-33 with 9:36 to play, and the Bucs about to kick it off again. Here's the kickoff. Taken at the 12. Ballou looking for room. A nice return.
Tackle by number 40.
Dragged down at the 36-yard line after a 27-yard return. Bryant Ballou, the senior. You know, Kelly, we talk about guys moving on to play on Saturday, and for a lot of these young men, it's the last time they'll put on the pads. And you know, we focus a lot on what's going on with the game itself, but you know, it's a special time for these guys. You know, they kind of a few years down the road will look back and remember this one, regardless of how the outcome ends up at the end of the night.
Yeah, it is a night to remember. You're absolutely right. Whether you win or lose, you're obviously in the game. You've got an opportunity to win a state championship, and I was fortunate enough back in 1990. I hate dating myself, but you know, to come away with the victory in my last high school football game. And fortunately, I was able to go on. But some of these guys, this is it.
Play action. Tate trying to get away from Sides. Got a good block. And will be slung to the ground by Jeffrey Hunter. There's a couple in the play.
Correction number 27.
And it looked like Jonathan Sites. Yeah, Jonathan Sites had him. And then he got away from him. And they were able to grab him.
The clock stopped as he went out of bounds. 9:15 to go. Now it rolls with 9:08 to go. 2nd and 12 after a loss of 2. High formation, wideouts both ways for Columbia Central. The Lions on offense. Quick pass. It is complete to near midfield and a first down. Pass went to Dre Hall. I think that's his first catch of the night. 16 yards on that one. Through the chains.
That was just a comeback route right there. And, Zach Tate kind of stared at it the whole way. He knew he had it. Taylor Cass, which was the underneath coverage, is really the guy responsible for that. He just threw it right over him. And pretty good touch by Zach Tate. I know he's thrown 3 interceptions, but he's also thrown 2 touchdowns. He's looked pretty good throwing the football.
That's a really nice throw right there.
Yeah, it was a nice throw because he showed touch. He got it over the guy that was the underneath defender, and he put it right on the rope to his receiver.
Put it down at midfield. Carry for Moore. First down. Tackled finally at the 36. 18 yards on that carry.
Richardson.
And now this is the way that Columbia Central started the football game. So now they're kind of starting to peak at the right time during the football game.
Well, this has been one of those games. Every time you think somebody has grabbed the momentum, the opposite side will just grab it right back. And Columbia on the move. A touchdown and 2 ties the game with Beech in front 41-33, 8.5 to go. Handoff Moore. Met with resistance by Kyle Mortensen.
Yeah, that was a good play by Kyle Mortensen.
Gain of 1. They got to the 30.
They ran a little counter play trying to change it up instead of running right at somebody, and they faked it to the back, the fullback, and then came back with a tailback. But Mortensen and company were ready to stop that play.
Second and 9 at the 30. Senior quarterback Zach Tate. Play action. Looks to turn it loose. Again, good coverage by Beech. Tripped up. A loss of 1.
That was a good play by Zach Rumsey right there. That was a lot of time right there for Zach Tate. The offensive line we talked about is doing a really good job. He's got time to survey the field. Then he's also got time to make a decision, but that was a good job by Rumsey of making that play, because if he doesn't make the play, there's absolutely no one on that side of the field. Zach Tate could probably still be running.
Lions have been good on 3rd down tonight, 4 of 5, and facing a 3rd and 10 right here with just over 7 minutes to go. 3-man front for Beech. Tate's pass tipped and knocked down. Hunter, you see him right there, number 27, the nose guard. Will bring up 4th and 10 with the ball at the 31.
They were trying to throw that ball again. They got a huge play from Scribner, I believe, in the last possession, and that's exactly what they were trying to do. They were trying to run him on a little drag route from the backfield, a little cross, and that's a good play by Hunter, knocking the football down.
4-down territory for Columbia Central. Here they come. They need 10 to continue the drive with the ball at the 31 and 7:01 to play. Tate from the gun. He'll tuck and run. Not going to get there. Beech holds. The Bucs will get the football. Marquise Kincaid finishing off that drive for Columbia Central. The defensive end, the sophomore, makes the play, and Beech will take over on downs with 6:49 to go.
And I was wondering if Beech was going to bring pressure, but if you watch pressure, and I wish we could have had a shot at the offensive line. We had a hole. They had a hole that the referees did not see, because Beech, one of the defenders, came through. He didn't come through clean, but they grabbed him before he got to Zach Tate, and I think that's what scared him out of the pocket.
Well, it looked like Kincaid might have been held as well, but he was able to get off the block, get out there and make the play. And Beech has the football, leading by 8. With under 7 minutes to go here. These teams playing for the state title. Both of them in it for the first time.
It's a pretty huge possession for both teams.
Sure is. Here's Walker. He's done a whole lot of that tonight, just picking his way through traffic. Got a little bit of help from Jamie Howell, the big left tackle, 6'3", 320 pounds, and a gain of 9.
He got a little help, but it also messed him up because I think he was trying to make a cutback, and Jamie Howell was right in the way. It looked like if he could have got back across the grain and gone to the other side of the field, he might have had a lot more gain out of the play.
Got pancaked by his own guy.
Yeah, I got pancaked by his own fella.
Come on, man. You don't have to land on top of me. Timeout as they'll bring on the chains for a measurement.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to hit old Jamie. He's 6'3", 320.
But we noticed in some of the highlights earlier him getting outside and helping out downfield. Going to be a little bit short. A couple chain links. Shy of a first down for Beech. They'll respot the football, roll the clock, 6:31 to play. Anthony Crabtree, former Middle Tennessee football player, and hoping to pilot Beech to its first ever state title. So a lot of football to be played in this one, though, and with the momentum swings we've seen tonight.
Never know.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah, and the fans have all hung around, bundled up. It's a little chilly out here in Cookeville tonight. Temperatures in the 30s, and got to give a lot of credit to our man Murphy Fair hanging around down there on the sidelines, not only for our game, but all afternoon, and doing a great job as always. And
somebody hooking him up with some duds.
I'll tell you what, he looks good. The fedora and the
what happened?
leather jacket.
We didn't get the memo, obviously. We didn't get the memo. I want a hat like that.
I don't know if that'd be considered a fedora or not, but 2nd and 1. And looks like they got enough. Keeper by Jarod Neal. We'll move the chains for Beech. They'll continue with just over 6 minutes to play.
Yeah, they've got to make a stop for Columbia. I mean, time is of the essence right now, and you need to make a stop. And the way the Beech has been moving the football, you know, they've used some creative ways to make some yardage tonight. And that's what I like with Coach Crabtree. They've done some things. You know, when they stop with something, that's good coaching.
Jarod Neal has had a huge night at quarterback for the Bucs. Walker in motion. The handoff goes to Haymer. He's on the run. 35-30. Trying to get away and tackled out of bounds after a huge gain for Beech. They will spot that one at the 14.
Just right up the middle.
51 yards for number 21.
Yeah, just brought the guy in motion, brought Walker in motion, and gave it to Haymer. That's where you get a lot of your big runs. You know, they've been running that sweep with the guy in motion, and you know, it just takes 1 or 2 of those plays right there from Travis Haymer to get those guys to start playing honest again, and then you can go back to the sweep.
Senior safety Wesley Cheatham had the angle to stop the play. Farm Bureau Insurance red zone is where Beech is, leading by 8 with 5.5 to go.
They come right back with the sweep again.
And this is Seitz, and it's a touchdown. 14-yard carry for Jonathan Seitz, and that really helps Beech's cause. The senior with the TD.
Well, I just alluded to it. That's what happens. I mean, you run a play so many times, a sweep from every angle, and then you run something up the middle with Travis Haymer, and then you come right back with the sweep, and he virtually goes untouched right there. That was a great blocking by his offensive line, and Travis Haymer to kind of open the hole up for him, and the rest Jonathan Seitz did.
2 straight touchdowns for Seitz. The point after is good.
No, he missed.
Oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't. Missed that one. Thought it looked good initially, but not to be. Blake Green couldn't connect, but still 47-33, a 2-touchdown lead for Beech.
Beech is, you know, this is their average. They're averaging a 14-point margin of victory in the 4 playoff games, and that's where they are right now. They're 14 points ahead of Columbia Central, but you know we've seen it in Columbia. This game is definitely not over. Columbia can come back and score, and they can score quick. They've got some big play guys on their team. Zach Tate, you know, he's made a couple of mistakes, but he's also made some heck of a football plays.
You think back to earlier in this half, you go back to the third quarter, you know, right after Beech had scored, Tate found Scribner for that 66-yard play.
Yeah. So if they can give him time, if his offensive line can get him time and he's able to survey the field and look around, this game is not over by any.
But they are definitely starting to get short on time. You know, it's going to take a touchdown and maybe getting creative to get the football back.
Yeah, you're right. And they still got 3 timeouts. So they've right now, this is a do or die situation for Columbia. They've got to have a touchdown.
And from the Lions' perspective, it'll be a great time for a big run back here. Here's a kickoff. Big thud as they tiptoe to football. Pretty nice run. On the return, it is Landwehr.
That's number 2, Landwehr.
19 yards on the return. Got it to the 42.
And I thought he was going to be stopped way back inside the 30. And Landwehr, he kind of put his head down. He couldn't have seen where he was going, but he just kept his feet moving. And he was able to get up, and he got a pretty good gain out of something I really thought was going to be stopped about 15 yards shorter.
5:22 to go. 1st and 10 for Columbia Central. Ball at the 42 as Coach Vance Ballou sends on his offense. Only 1 loss this season for the Lions. That was to Independence back on October 9th. And other than that, they have run the table, including a 6-game winning streak coming into this state championship game. From the gun, it's Tate. Rolls, looks downfield, tripped. Helping out on the tackle was Seitz. Loss of 3.
It looks like Zach is getting a little frustrated right there. Getting a little pressure on him. And just got to settle your troops down. This is where they need you most. And you got to sit back in that pocket. It's amazing, though. 8 completions with 267 yards. That's amazing.
2 TDs, 3 interceptions. Each team with all 3 of its timeouts remaining. 2nd and 13 after that 3-yard loss and under 5 to play. Tate complete near side as he finds Hall into Beech territory and tackled at the 47. 14-yard gain and a 1st down for Columbia.
Looks like a 1st down. They're going to give him a 1st down.
I thought they were.
Oh yeah, they are. That's a good thing about the high school game, though. When you get a 1st down, the clock stops where you don't have to hurry up so much. You can go back there and do kind of the sugar huddle that we used to call it. It's kind of a quick tempoed huddle, and you can get up to the line of scrimmage when the clock stops.
Tate one more time, finds Ballou. Bryant looking for some space. 40-yard line and tackled. Clock will continue to roll with the 7-yard gain and a play made by Kincaid.
Yeah, now they need to get up to the line of scrimmage. They're kind of.
Yeah, you can't afford to waste too much clock here for Columbia. Under 4 to go and trailing by 2 touchdowns. Kincaid takes his stance on defense, and Tate winds up the throw, and another near pick. On that one, it was Taylor Cash, the linebacker. Had a good night on both sides of the football as well.
He really has, and if you're Zach Tate, you got to watch that. I remember a long time ago when I played in high school and I was playing for the Falcons in Lincoln County. I threw 3 right to that same guy. I mean, it's playing Taylor Cash's position. I didn't see him anytime. And Zach Tate, he cannot have another turnover here because if he does, that's Katie bar the door. The game's over.
3rd and 1. Movement, and that might be just what the doctor ordered for Columbia.
That's a good call by Coach Ballou and his staff.
Dead ball, encroachment on the defense. 1st down.
So they move the chains, a 1st down for Columbia, and we head back to the sidelines of Murphy Fair.
Hey, Kevin, Beech trying to get his 1st state championship in football. That'd be a great gift for Coach Anthony Crabtree on the Beech side, but it also would be a great present for his middle son, Heath, the one in the gray hat. Today just happens to be his 11th birthday.
Columbia trying to have something to say about that with a completion and another first down. They find Landwehr one more time for a pickup of 13, his coach's son. Talk about hats. His dad might want to swap hats with him. 3:31 to play.
Glad he looks like his mom.
I'm sure Anthony will appreciate you saying that. And we're going to get a timeout. Asked for by the Lions of Columbia Central. They're on the move, trailing by 2 touchdowns, 47-33 with 3:31 to play in Cookeville. The 2, 4, and 6A finals coming up tomorrow on this field. We've had 1, 3, and 5A today. The Beech fans hoping that in 3.5 minutes they'll be celebrating a state title. On the other side, Columbia's fans hoping for a big comeback. And it has been a great turnout here at Tucker Stadium at Tennessee Tech for all of these championship games.
It's been a great game, too. I mean, it's been back and forth. And then, you know, just, I'm not saying that Columbia's out of the ball game by any stretch of the imagination right here, but you know, they need scores and they need them fast. They need to score right now, and they need to, I don't know, and that's what Coach Ballew's got to go. He's got 3 timeouts, but the way that Beech has been moving the ball in their defense, I mean, you're probably going to have to kick an onside kick. If you're in the NFL, you might think about, if you score right here, you might think about kicking the ball off, getting 3 stops and calling 3 timeouts. But it's going to be a tough situation. But I'm sure he wants to have to make that call.
Well, they have the capability of putting it in the end zone quickly, and they're close enough to do it here. 1st and 10 from the 20. They'll put it in the air and bat it down. Intercepted. Wow. Zinchini will take a knee. That might have done the job for Beech. Max Zinchini.
What a play by Max Zinchini. He knocked the ball down and intercepted it. And that was a rope by Zach Taylor.
It did. It looked like it was going to be a score for Columbia Central. So they'll move it out to the 20, and Beech will take over, leading by 14 with 3:21 to go. Wow. I didn't think there was any way he was going to get to that football. I thought Bryant Ballou was going to be right there for the score, but the 4th turnover of the night for Columbia Central, and that is a hurter with just over 3 minutes to play.
Now they've already called 1 timeout. That's tough. Not going to be able to come back, I don't believe.
Beech sets up its offense. There's a man who just got the pick, Max Zinchini. And now Beech will call a timeout. They had all 3 and take the TO right here.
And Jarod Neal was able to look at the play clock. He saw that it was at 4, 3, 2, and then 1, and then he called a timeout.
Anthony Crabtree huddles him up. They'll do the same over on the Columbia Central side. There you go. Kelly Holcomb has been waiting all season to see that right there.
Yeah, that is great. I love it.
Well, we've seen him at a few places.
At a few places, but it helps. I mean, because right there, if you don't have one of those in a high school stadium, it's hard for a quarterback to look at the referee in the back judge to see him counting it down. That's just too tough. And I know that the coaches look at it sometimes. I know the Murfreesboro Oakland coaches with Coach McDaniel, I know he watched it, but it's just a tough deal. It's good to see it.
Well, that man's been a big part of it tonight for Beech High School. Max Zinchini, the junior. Split in, a defensive back. What a night he has had, and so is that guy, Jarod Neal.
Right.
4 touchdown passes and on the ground as well. Here's Walker. Will push it out to the 30-yard line before being tackled by Cheatham. 10-yard gain. They'll move the chains.
Wow, that's a great feeling, right now for those guys on Beech, unless something incredible happens from Columbia. They're going to have their first state title, and Coach Anthony Crabtree and another one of my former teammates, Kerry Jackson, on his staff. So obviously all the hard work that they put in and with all the weightlifting and all the hours they put in watching film is paying off.
So, yeah, you think about that stuff, don't you? You know, when you get in this situation. Stop for a loss here for Columbia Central. Danny Parker wrapping up the ball carrier, Haymer. 2:36 to go, no gain. Put it down at the 30-yard line. Neal returns to the huddle after getting the play from the sideline. And boy, you're right. All that work you do in the offseason is all pointed toward this game right here. Only 2 teams get to make it, and 1 team gets to have that feeling at the end of the game. And regardless of which side you're on, it is special to be a part of it, as we talked about tonight.
It really is. It's a night to remember, and you know what, Jarod Neal and Max Zincini and all those guys are going to remember it.
Maybe some tired defenders for Columbia Central as Walker weaved his way through traffic. Gone under 2 minutes here. Gain of 8 or 9. They'll put the ball at the 38 and a timeout. Asked for by Columbia Central. Those folks waiting to erupt. Down from Sumner County, Beech High School from Hendersonville. A minute 51 away from celebrating their first state championship.
There's really no feeling like it. I mean, you know that, kid. I mean, when you can do, you know, what you set out to do at the first of the year, and everybody has a goal, but not everybody does what they need to do during the season or during the off season. I mean, it kind of starts in the off season, but you know, to have the opportunity to come out here and to play for a state championship, and like I said, I remember a lot of the things. You know, I told George on the radio today, and you know, I've had 7 concussions over my life.
Man.
And
how does that compare with Wycheck?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how many Frank had, but I had a bunch. I had some when I was a kid too. But you know what? It's you know, you remember tonight. You remember all the things that happened on this day. You remember where you ate at. You remember all the people that you saw. It's a good feeling for one team. On the other hand, it's a bad feeling for the other team.
Well, that young man, Jarod Neal, has played a heck of a game, too, for Columbia Central and had a great season. This Columbia team has been fantastic. 13 wins this year. There's Ethan Walker's numbers. He's at the century mark rushing. May get a couple more chances. Be a keeper here for Jarod Neal. He got 5, only needed a couple to move the chains. 1 timeout left for Columbia Central, 2 remaining for Beech. Minute 46 to go. This 5A state championship game.
That right there does
it. They do already have the stickers made. I think half of Sumner County seated down here below us, the Beech fans. From Hendersonville down here to Cookeville. I don't think there's any of them left to watch it on the big screen at Shackle Island Stadium tonight.
And you know what? It's not only the football team. I mean, it's the community. You know, it's community pride. That, you know, if they're in Sumner County, but you know, those people that follow Beech High School and you know, have kids going there and have had kids to go there. I mean, it's just a sense of pride. It's a sense of accomplishment, and you know, they've worked so hard, and it's just a great feeling. I can't tell people enough. You know, if you've never been involved in sports and you've never been involved in a championship, it's a great feeling to be a part of.
Yeah, whether you played or just followed a certain team or it's your alma mater. I can remember when my school won one back in the 90s. You look down there on the field, and if you waited a long time to see that moment, and you see your guys holding the trophy. I mean, there's nothing really like that.
No,
That's
really
exactly right.
Especially if you're one of those guys holding the trophy. That's pretty neat.
I never had that opportunity, obviously, but I know you did, and it's neat to watch. And you talk about the community. Same thing for Columbia. They brought a ton of folks up here, and really, the same sense of pride on their side. Minute 39 to go. No timeouts left for the Lions. Neal will take a knee in the victory formation for Beech.
And I'm sure my man Chip Walters, who I brought up here today, we rode together because he had to do the radio for the TSSAA, but he's a Columbia Central High grad way back when. I don't want to date him. I always tell him it's back in the 60s. But
give us a year.
No, I don't think it was that early, but I'm sure he's going to be a little upset.
There's Coach Anthony Crabtree looking around there for some Gatorade coolers on the Beech sideline. I think they just have the squirt bottles. Another knee for Neal. We're under a minute. There you go.
And they're going to get him.
Third and 14 on the field. The assistant coaches helping him out down there.
Yeah, Crab looks like he's looking for it.
We'll be running extra tomorrow. I don't care if you didn't win the state title.
That's going to be cold, too.
One more knee, and that's going to do it.
They better hurry up, though.
Our first trip to the state title game and a 5A state championship for the Beech Buccaneers. The clock winds down. They try to douse Anthony Crabtree. 47-33 is the final score. Exciting game tonight. And a lot of credit due to Columbia Central. An unbelievable season for the Lions as they made it to the state title game for the first time. The first time they've advanced past the second round, but it is Beech's night as the Buccaneers win it by 14.
Played really well, Kev. They really did. They got stopped at the first of the game, and I thought that they were going to have trouble with Columbia's offensive line. They were just running it down their throat. But give credit to them, give credit to their coaches. They went in, they devised the game plan, and they came back. And it was kind of a back and forth game. You said like the ebbs and flows of the game. It was huge. They went on a 14-0 run, and then then Columbia came back and went on a run themselves, and then they went up 21, had a 21-0 run, and it's, it was just, it was a good game. It was a good game, and it's, you hate to see somebody when they get to this point, somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose, but, Columbia hung in there. They fought tough. They're a blue-collar football team. They're a physical football team. I liked the way they played, but just came up a little short tonight.
And the turnovers really hurt him. You saw the nice exchange of pleasantries between the two coaches, Anthony Crabtree for Beech and Vance Ballou of Columbia Central. A lot to be proud of for him. He and his family well represented here in Cookeville tonight. It'll be a fun trip back to Sumner County for the folks in blue and orange. They are the state champions, the Buccaneers of Beech. There's Bryant Ballou, Columbia Central.
He's one of those guys that'll get to go on and he signed. I think he verbally committed to UT Chattanooga, so he'll get to keep going.
Outstanding high school football player. Well, let's send it down to the field in the big moment with our man Murphy Fair. Murphy, take it away.
Hey, Kevin, thank you very much. A pretty happy Anthony Crabtree right here. You wouldn't know it by looking at his face, but Coach, a lot of folks, myself included, really didn't expect to see you guys here, and especially pull off the win. An awesome job by the Bucs.
It's been an unbelievable year. I don't think anybody in the state of Tennessee thought when the season started that we would be here tonight, including the coaches. We felt like if we win 4 or 5 ball games, we'd have a good season. These guys have just found a way to overcome so much this year, and people have just stepped up, matured, and made play after play, and the same thing happened tonight. And I don't know how we wound up winning the ball game. They have a great football team. We just found a way to make a couple more plays than they did.
I was counting up as the thing was counting down, and I think you're the 4th team from Sumner County now to win a state championship.
Yeah, it's the first time ever in Beech history. Gallatin's won a couple. Hendersonville, I know they've been here. I'm not sure if they won it or not. I think White House, I know, won one. It's huge. Sumner County football is very, very. It's a challenge for everybody.
They're giving me the hurry it up signal to get the trophies underway. Anthony, good job.
Thanks, Mark.
Anthony Crabtree, the head coach of the Beech Bucs, guys. A great job by this team here in Cookeville tonight.
His 43rd career victory is a state title for Beech as they win at 47-33. And you talk about stars of this game, and you look over on the Columbia side, and it's tough to take. And big night for Jarod Neal. We'll talk more about that. See the trophy presentation in just a moment. It's a state title for Beech as they knock off Columbia Central. We'll be right back.
We invite you to join the movement. A rebellion against all things motionless, where health has a direction and wellness a destination. Proof that a single action can cause a powerful reaction and keep Tennessee moving together toward a healthy future. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee. Get into the movement at mvmtforlife.com.
Beware of big buildings because big buildings and mega dealers charge mega bucks.
There is a simple and cost-effective choice for the people right down the road in Columbia at Roberts Toyota. Your new Toyota can cost less in Columbia at Roberts Toyota. You do have a choice. Roberts Toyota, for the people.
Okay, say something smart and funny. Can't be too hard. Are you going somewhere? Are you going somewhere? Of course he's going somewhere. He has his luggage in an airport. Idiot.
Going to London with a Ball State class to study parliamentary law.
Wow. Wow.
So where are you headed?
Toledo. Ugh.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. Nope.
International travel study. Just part of the Vol State difference.
Congratulations to the Columbia Central Lions for a great season and making it to the Blue Cross Bowl. Brought to you by First Farmers and Merchants Bank.
On the next Friday Night SmackDown, he's arrogant, sinister. He's Drew McIntyre, and with an endorsement from Mr. McMahon, he does what he wants, when he wants. Friday Night SmackDown.
Tonight at 9:30 on My TV 30.
There is a choice for the people at RobertsToyota.com. Shop the latest inventory and get any special price exclusively at RobertsToyota.com. Impeccable customer service, huge selection at low overhead. You do have a choice. RobertsToyota.com, for the people.
There's the final score. Beech winner against Columbia Central, 47-33 for the 5A state title, the Blue Cross Bowl here in Cookeville, Tennessee at Tennessee Tech University. Before our trophy presentation, our Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee move of the game brought to you by Movement of Life for Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee from Blue Cross Blue Shield. Get into the movement, find inspiration, make your health proclamation at mvmtforlife.com. We featured him off the top, and he has our move of the game. Jonathan Sykes to the house. A little work to do on the jersey, and there you go. The Beech Bucs, the 5A state champions in the state of Tennessee. And time for our Blue Cross Bowl player of the game as well. Jarod Neal chosen the Blue Cross Bowl player of the game. 10 of 13 passing, 167 yards, 4 touchdowns on the night. Neal also a score or 2 on the ground this evening, so a lot of credit goes to him as he helped pilot this Beech High School team to the state title. There's Neal accounting for 5 touchdowns, 4 through the air and 1 on the ground. Of course, 3 more games to come tomorrow. The Blue Cross Bowl continues with the 2A title game, Trousdale County and Boyd Buchanan. In 4A, it's Greenville against Giles County. And then the 6A title game tomorrow night, White Station against Maryville. Hope you'll join us in these same stations for all of those matchups. So for Murphy Fair and Kelly Holcomb, great job tonight, Kelly.
Sounds good, man. I'll be back tomorrow. You got a little other job.
But boy, I sure would love to be here, and it's been a fun day so far, and more to come tomorrow as the Blue Cross Bowl continues. 47-33 the final score. Beech wins the 5A state title over Columbia Central. Kevin Ingram saying so long from Cookeville.